What's up, people? What is up? All right. So you know what? Share this out. I'm going to share this right now too. I'm getting tons of hate mail right now. So let's talk about it. Let's just have a real conversation. No shenanigans, no nonsense. Okay? Let's talk about why I wrote these 2 articles that has gotten KPD's feathers all ruffled, and why they're putting out media releases specifically about me, making you all question whether or not what I put out is factual information or not. So share this out. Let's get as many people. Just understand that there's not going to be. We're not going to tolerate nonsense. Let's just listen and do all that. But I'm going to share this out. I'm getting tons of journalists that are messaging me, which I think is interesting. Even mainstream media is wondering why there's press releases all about me. Little old nobody me. I'll say it so you guys don't have to. Little old nobody me. Let's talk about it. So I'm just sharing this out, and then we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna walk you little baby birds through it step by step. But man, has Kenosha been really upset. And then I see that, so I just got this, Kevin Matthewson is now doing a, fuck this guy. All right. Like I said, tons of journalists are contacting me, questioning, and Kevin Matthewson is now one of them. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to try to walk this through with you guys sort of step by step. All right. I want you to understand, first off, I'm going to preface this with, I didn't just write some random article and not back anything up. Okay. There has never been anything that Never Stop Media has released, whether it's in written form or like a video, like a live stream or whatever, that we have not backed up either by audio, either by video, or by a document. Okay? So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through step by step. We're going to talk about the 4th victim. And if I'm going to tell you right now, if Kenosha Police Department is pissed off now over these 2 articles, wait until the article that we break next. They're going to absolutely lose their minds. You think there's going to be press releases? 100%. It's going to be problematic. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm very strict on my platform. I don't allow bullshit. You're more than welcome to disagree with me, have a difference of opinion. I don't care about that, okay? I don't tolerate direct attacks, threats, bullying. You start putting links up about, I don't tolerate it. I'll ban people. It doesn't bother me, okay? Let's just all be professional. All right. So, none of us here should be new to, there was obviously some serious unrest that happened in Kenosha last August, right? We all know that. It's obviously led all of us to 1 million questions. Some could care less, others have 1 million questions, okay? I had 1 million questions as well. For those of you that actually follow my stuff, you know that I was out there, I filmed things, and I've had 1 million questions as well, okay? For the next month, I was looking for traffic, like audio scanner traffic, a recording, okay? Here's kind of my mentality, okay? Some crazy person that sits in front of the scanner had to have recorded this, okay? So I diligently searched for recordings of the audio scanner because KPD won't release this stuff, okay? It's not like regular days where you can file open records requests and they just want to hand you things, okay? So I came across this website where this guy live streamed August 23rd, 24th, and 25th, okay? The 23rd and 24th are basically like hour-long live streams. It's not noteworthy unless you're a protester and you're trying to highlight curfew discrimination. You'll hear some stuff on those 2 days. We've released that stuff too, okay? On the 25th, this is a very long live stream. It is 6 hours and 44 minutes long, okay? If you're a lawyer or you're a protester and you care about curfew discrimination, listen to the entire audio. If you're just insane like me and you want to kind of know everything that was kind of happening around town that day, listen to 6 hours and 44 minutes. If you don't care about that stuff and all you care about is from the shooting point of Kyle Rittenhouse and you want to hear what police said on those scanners, okay, then you want to fast forward this video to 4 hours and 40 minutes into the video, okay? I'm going to paste the link here so you guys have this. It's in the articles. We've done this already, but I'm going to do it again for you baby birds. Now, at the 4 hour and 40 minute mark on the video, okay, they start talking about the shooting, right? Now remember, September of 2020, we released this and I broke this down minute by minute, okay? Exactly what was said on the scanner. We broke it down for you, all right? A lot of people are not paying attention to this and have missed that for some reason, okay? At the 5 hour and 6 mark, there is radio traffic where KPD calls out that they have a 4th victim, okay? When we broke this down, September of 2020, we said that. That was one of the minute by minute, recaps. And we said, they're calling out a 4th victim. There's been dozens of protesters that could swear that there was a 4th person that was hit, okay? So all of this is unsubstantiated at this point, right? Let's start from the beginning. We just have radio traffic of KPD saying that they have a 4th victim. You've got dozens of protesters swearing up and down that they thought they saw another person get hit, okay? But none of this is fact checked yet, okay? We talked about it, but we didn't put it out as like, holy shit, breaking news, look at this, KPD's concealing some stuff, right? Now, for the next several months, I've been investigating everything regarding this radio traffic, everything that we hear. And there's other details in this radio traffic on this new article that we're going to drop too that's going to piss Kenosha Police Department off 10 times worse than what we've already done. Okay? We've been filing open records requests, okay, for the last 8 months with the Kenosha Police Department and Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. 13 of those records requests have either been lost, never gotten, blatantly ignored, or denied. We have not seen a single record come out of Kenosha Police Department. Okay. For me, this is the problem. I have also, when it is in regard to the public information officer, Lieutenant Joseph Noslick, I have repeatedly called this individual trying to get interviews. If you guys remember Trevor Albright, who passed away from a snowmobile accident, we filmed a situation with him and protesters that we highlighted because he was an amazing cop. We tried to get an interview. Okay, ignored. I've emailed and called repeatedly for months trying to get put on their email list for press releases. Ignored. I have never talked to Joseph Noslick, ever. I have never met this man. We've not had phone conversation. There's been no email communication. No, all I know is he's a PIO. Okay, I've heard tons of things about him. Because of the 13 open records requests that were denied, okay, I filed in the Kenosha County Courthouse, I filed what's called a writ of mandamus, okay? So if you file an open records request and whatever government body turns you down, denies you for whatever reason, you either go to the Attorney General, you go to the District Attorney's office, or you file a lawsuit in the courts, okay? I've complained to the District Attorney's office, and I also filed the mandamus suit. All 13 of those records requests are part of that lawsuit. We filed that on March 17th. That is public information now. Okay. Since then, we have filed 7 more open records requests, and 6 of them have been denied. Okay. One of them they're supposedly working on, and we're supposedly supposed to be getting some documentation. Now that has nothing to do with unrest in Kenosha, and that's another thing to clarify. All of these different open records requests are not specifically regarding protests and riots and burning fucking Kenosha down, okay? We have filed open records requests on a numerous amount of subjects, and as we start getting documents, if it's anything relevant that I think that the general public, meaning the Kenosha residents, need to be made aware of, I'm going to release that stuff, okay? And it's up to you guys. If I think something's relevant, you may not, and that's okay. We're going to write the article, we're going to provide the evidence supporting the article, and then it's up to you, baby birds, to do with as you please. If you're a protester and you think that that stuff's going to help you, by all means use it, okay? If you're a resident of Kenosha and you're pissed off about property taxes, and I write something about that, okay, start complaining, right? We released an article about the insurance company that Kenosha has and how that relationship affects every single resident in Kenosha. It's a very interesting article. You should all read it. So all of a sudden now I file this writ of mandamus lawsuit, and now all of a sudden I'm getting phone calls from the Kenosha Police Department, who, mind you, has ignored me for 8 months, okay? On August 28th, 2020, for those of you that pay attention to my platform and me, you know I was arrested for curfew. Despite showing press credentials, having a registered company in the state of Wisconsin, okay, I was arrested for violating curfew. The very next day, August 29th, I went to the public safety building, okay? I went to the police department and the little office area thing, and I specifically asked for a copy of my arrest report because there was a Waukesha County sheriff sitting in the passenger seat of the marked squad car that I was put into, and I was told that that sheriff wasn't there and that he didn't exist and to stop talking to him. I wanted to know who kidnapped me, all right? Spent 17 hours in jail. I was told I was not entitled to my police report. I wasn't allowed access to that. That's a problem, okay? Now, to cover my butt, because I was going back out again, I asked for a copy of the curfew that supposedly was lawful. Now, you guys know, if you pay attention to me, I have bitched and moaned to every single Kenosha resident that they should have all filed a federal lawsuit over that fake curfew, especially every business owner that was forced to shut their businesses down at 7 p.m. Okay? That curfew was fake and it was unlawful. again, after I asked for my own police report that I was not allowed to get, I specifically asked for a copy of the curfew document so I could see if the document specifically said that press was exempt from the curfew. Here's what I was told. Okay, this is from the police department and that little office area thing that you walk into to pick up reports. That there is no such document. Well, whoa, wait a minute. If there's no such document, how are you enforcing what you're calling a legal curfew? There has to be paperwork. There's legal processes that have to happen in order for them to create a curfew, impose it on the public, and then enforce that curfew. But you're telling me there's no documentation? I'm trying to get something that makes me allowed to walk out here, besides my First Amendment right. Then I was told to go to the city attorney's office. Maybe they would have it. Okay, I find it weird, since you have Kenosha Police Department running all over the place, snatching people up, that Kenosha doesn't have this, but sure, no problem, we'll go to the city's attorney office. I went there, asked for a copy of my arrest record, was told I couldn't have it, and again asked for a copy of the curfew. I was told there was no such document. 3 weeks later, they produce documentation, okay, after the federal lawsuit was filed. That seems very convenient. I filed an open records request asking for written documentation, emails, everything, any internal documents surrounding everything to do with this curfew, this alleged curfew. Okay? And I did it specifically from August 23rd to August 31st, 2020. I was denied. Why? You're claiming this was real. You're claiming that there was documentation, but you can't give me any paperwork? I don't even have them send me a copy of the actual curfew that they've given the high-profile attorneys. Why not? That seems very suspect to me, okay? With my arrest, I find out that the officer that originally apprehended me before he turned me over to a marked unit, his name is Pablo Torres. I'm not a fan of Pablo Torres because Pablo Torres grabbed his gun and tried to pull it on me when he told me to go into my backpack. So, once I got this individual's name, I looked him up on the internet, the same as you guys do to me. Okay? Pablo Torres is a fucking lunatic, all right, that has shot 2 people in a 10-day period and has multiple excessive use complaints. This is a cop that should not represent Kenosha Police Department. I think it is a bad image. I think he's unsafe, and I think there are way better officers inside of that department and individuals within our community that could be better, okay? I have filed an open records request asking for Pablo Torres's complete personnel file. I was denied. This is discriminatory, and let me tell you why. It's discriminatory because the personnel file was handed over to Fox 6, who ran a story when Torres was on this 10-day suspension for, killing these people. And then the police union, in celebration for him killing Aaron Seiler and then shooting a individual who's having a serious PTSD moment 10 days earlier, okay, the police union puts up a giant billboard about this hero cop and how they value him and his little dog Chico, okay? You cannot give documentation to a news outlet and then deny another news outlet the same exact thing, okay? It's discriminatory. And KPD, do you think they're worrying about a mandamus lawsuit? There's going to be plenty of other lawsuits coming at KPD, okay? I'm denied for this stuff. These are the types of records that I'm going for. We've heard that KPD was getting a $49,000 grant for automatic license plate readers, okay? I wrote an article in regards to how dangerous automatic license plate readers are. That article is what blocked their $49,000 grant and forced Chief Miskinnis to issue a media release that it's too dangerous because of privacy issues, which we highlighted heavily in our article, and that's why they're just not going to go with it at this time, okay? That article was shared around to every single Common Council member, and mind you, I did not do this. And it was also shared around the Kenosha Police Department. Kenosha Police Department is pissed because I wrote that article. And I highlighted how dangerous it was for every single Kenosha resident. Okay? Now, again, fast forward to I filed the writ of mandamus. Now, all of a sudden, I have all of this attention on me from KPD. And as many of you have said on the KPD media release that don't like me, have said that I'm a nobody. And I'll agree with you. Let's agree with that. I'm a no-name. I'm not the Washington Post. I'm not the New York Times. I'm not even fucking Kenosha News. I'm an independent journalist. Okay? And I have all of this attention. I get a phone call and I'm having this conversation with Naslik. Okay? Then we have a second phone call the very next day and I'm told that I'm being recorded. Well, that's weird. Now, talking to the multitude of journalists that have contacted me today, that I've talked to about this, I've asked, have you ever been recorded by these people? And they said, no, this is weird. That's like unheard of, right? And I'm like, bro, this is super sketch. Why are they recording me, right? I find out in that second day, which is the audio that we released, okay, that I was recorded the day before. I filed an open records request to get those two audio phone conversations. We released the Never Stop Media videos, but we're grabbing the audio from KPD's side of things, okay? And you guys know me. We release everything full, not edited, okay? We're going to release KPD's version so you can see that the conversation that was had is matched up exactly the same. I didn't edit anything. We didn't take anything out. It's 100% intact. Okay? I've had other conversations that are off the record, allegedly. Who the fuck knows? Okay? I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they are recorded. I didn't record because I hold to my integrity. If I tell somebody I'm not recording, if you don't want your name associated with something, if you give me a piece of information and you tell me I can't publicly say this because whatever, I have to uphold to that responsibility to protect your anonymity. Okay? Now, in January of 2021, I had a conversation, okay, with a reputable individual inside of the Kenosha Police Department. We had a conversation. In this conversation, the fourth victim was talked about. Okay? This individual stated, yes, there is a fourth victim. Yes, there are medical records attached to that victim. However, everything is sealed and it is specifically not being publicly talked about for a reason. And I can't tell you that reason. And I went, well, what the fuck? So what we heard on the radio traffic about a fourth victim, like that's true, there actually is one. And they shook their head. But they could not tell me details. So that makes my life hard. Now I gotta sit here and I gotta go, well, fuck, who do I call? I can't release this because it's an anonymous source, right? I can't just publish on what an anonymous source told me. That's irresponsible. It's malicious and it leads to conspiracy and potential rhetoric. Okay? So now I have to fact find. I got to find other people that know the same information. I got to find documents. I got to find videos. I got to find all types of stuff. Okay? Through an open records request, we got sent the Waukesha Police Department document, which is article number 1. And we titled it, KPD Conceals Fourth Victim. Okay? That was based on, 1, the Waukesha document, plus other evidences that we had that we didn't release in that article. Okay? There's reasons why journalists do stupid shit, like have follow-ups. And that's to keep you all coming and reading our stupid stories. Okay? I knew I was already doing a follow-up. Okay? Now, we released the phone audio of Naslik calling me again, yelling at me about this fourth victim shit. Okay? KPD stands firm. I'm not going to deny that KPD stands firm on their position that there is no fourth victim. Okay? Then we release the Fed document that we received from the United States Marshals, which is this. We linked the Waukesha document in article number 1. We linked the U.S. Marshal document in article number 2. So again, it's not like I just wrote some article and didn't back it up by legitimate government paperwork. Okay? Now, are there still open-ended questions in regards to a fourth victim? Yes, 100% there are. 100%. We don't know who that person is. I called the Kenosha County Medical Examiner's office today. They will only confirm that 4 individuals died from gun homicide in August of 2020. They cannot tell me the dates. They cannot tell me names. They can't tell me anything. Why? Because KPD has it under non-disclosure right now. Okay? We've done all of our due diligence. We have tried to fact check everything. We've made sure the documents are fucking real, that this is not some scam shit that was sent to us and, you know, whatever. But also, we picked this up from government entities. Okay? I released the phone audio of this morning with me talking to Naslik. Okay? We've backed everything up. We've gotten KPD's version of it. And then we have 2 government entities' versions. Here's the question. Ignore the fact of where the fuck is a body and why hasn't somebody filed a civil suit. Forget that right now. We have the same questions. Where's the body? Is the person alive? Is he fucking dead? The U.S. Marshals say he's fucking dead. Okay? Forget that. What needs to be focused on is, why is Waukesha Police Department sending a document where they are confirming a 4th victim? That document was at 11:01 in the morning, the following morning, which is August 26th. Kyle Rittenhouse is shooting people after 11 p.m. August 25th. How the fuck is Waukesha PD that stupid that they're so confused at 11 o'clock the next morning writing a report about what happened the night before? That's Naslik's version. There's too much chaos. There's misinformation going around. Blah, 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 blah. No. They're not fucking confused at 11 o'clock the next morning. They've gone and debriefed in command centers and posts and whatever the fuck. They've done that. Naslik will have you believe that that's not how policing works. We're not dumb. Okay? The United States Marshals document was written at 3:54 in the morning. Those of you that were out there or paid attention to mine and Andrew's and CJ's live streams and whoever the fuck else was live streaming that night, you guys know that pretty much sometime after midnight, close to 1-ish, everyone's gone. They fucking left because they were terrified that they were going to get murdered in the street. They're gone. So let's just say, for argument's sake, at 1 a.m., streets are clear. All it is law enforcement. Why the fuck 4 hours later is the U.S. Marshals talking about a 4th victim being dead? But again, Kenosha Police Department will have you believe that the U.S. Marshals are confused amidst all the chaos. What fucking chaos is happening at 4 o'clock in the morning? Nobody's there. This is a problem. Okay? I would understand, and I would 100% agree with Kenosha Police Department if, in the middle of Kyle Rittenhouse shooting people, that the U.S. Marshals pulled their vehicle over and started writing a report staring at Pandora's box that just opened. Then I would understand and be like, well, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. They're probably, you know, they got misinformed. But how the fuck 3 hours later do they not still get informed? These are federal agents. I trust them a little bit more than local fucking police department, right? This is a federal agent that wrote this document, okay? So, based on the audio scanner that we released, where they themselves, and that Kenosha police officer is Detective Jeremy DeWitt. That's whose voice you hear saying the fourth victim. Okay? Based off of that, based off of private conversation with an individual inside of Kenosha Police Department in January 2021, based off a Waukesha document from the police department confirming that there's a fourth victim, and based off a federal agent document confirming that there's a fourth victim, yes, we wrote 2 separate articles about a fourth victim. Where the fuck is he? Now, here's what's also very weird and interesting is why are we getting 2 different documents from 2 different government entities talking about stuff that happened on August 25th, but Kenosha Police Department won't release anything. They won't release anything. Now, if you've actually paid attention and listened to our phone recordings between me and Naslik, okay, he says if it's related to Kyle Rittenhouse, they can't release it. So I get that, right? The kid needs a fair trial, whether we like that or not, okay? Deserves a fair trial. He's got to stay in court. That's the American way. That's how it's fucking supposed to be. Whether we agree with that or not, whether we think it's fucking self-defense or fucking murder, he's innocent or fucking guilty, it doesn't matter, okay? But you've heard me in that phone conversation where I'm asking Kenosha to comment on these documents that we're getting, and they tell me no comment, but I've got 45-minute phone recordings of them commenting. Now, talking to journalists that I've talked to today, I've asked them the same thing. Bro, when you have some fucked up shit that you go and you start calling police departments and you need a comment from them, and it's like controversial, right? And maybe doesn't make the department look very well, what is their response typically? You know what they've all said? We have no comment. I said, yeah, exactly. So why do I have 45-minute long phone recordings with a PIO officer? You've heard me specifically in that phone conversation say, if these documents are inaccurate, local law enforcement and federal agents, if this is inaccurate, then release documents to us that show and support your claim that there is no fourth victim. Sorry, we can't do that. Why not? Well, because there's just no fourth victim. I've already told you that. No, I'm not going based off what you fucking tell me. I'm sorry. I filmed too much bullshit with the police right now. I'm not going based off what you say. And that's a horrible thing for me to say, that I don't trust law enforcement, but I don't. Not 8 months filming and releasing fucking documents. I'm sorry, I don't. You don't like me because of that. It is what it is. Okay? I want documentation from them. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys too. I'm not going to get into detail because I don't want to cause widespread fucking panic. I'm in receipt of a document, okay, from said police department that is a fucking forged document. And we can prove that. It's forged, fraudulent, it's fake, it's fucked up. Okay? So, with all due respect, Kenosha Police Department, I'm gonna fucking go with the federal agent document and not your word that something didn't happen. Okay? Now, Kenosha's random let's write a press release calling Never Stop Media a liar and spreading rhetoric and hate that flames the community. Again, if you've paid attention to my phone recording with Naslik, I've told Naslik very specifically, you have the entire Kenosha community that wants to know what the fuck happened. Why did their town burn down? Why did KPD allow that? I have a 11-minute, I think it's 11 minutes, live stream of KPD surrounding all of the militia. That was a fucking happenstance that I was able to capture that. And then they magically just lost all these people. 125 to 150 armed militia. And Kenosha Police Department fucking loses them. They have no comment on that either. That's a factual thing that happened. Had Kenosha, with their real curfew that they claim, detained and arrested or told them to fuck off like they did with Black Protester, you would have never had militia staged up in different areas, and you would have never had, potentially, presumably, never had fucking death in the street. Okay? I've asked for those documentations, those records. We can't fucking get those either. Can't get anything. Okay? Why is every other law enforcement entity that came to Kenosha releasing fucking documents, but Kenosha won't? That's our question. That's a problem. You all that live in Kenosha, more specifically than anybody else around the world, because there's millions of people that know Kenosha, but everybody in Kenosha deserves to know what the fuck happened. Because here's the truth. Okay? Were there protesters that were peacefully protesting? Yes, there were. Were there some rioters that were on some ignorant ass bullshit that destroyed our city? 100%. Were there some police officers that probably did some good shit? Yeah, because I fucking filmed one of them. Were there police officers that engaged in some seriously questionable activity? Yes. Yes, there was. Okay? And we deserve, all of us, to know what actually happened. Now, the excuse is, well, it surrounds Kyle Rittenhouse, so we can't give it to you. Okay. Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't murdering people on August 23rd, so release records pertaining to that day. Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't murdering people on August 24th, so release records for that day. How about August 26th? Let's ignore August 25th altogether because Kyle Rittenhouse is wandering around the streets. Release records. They won't give us anything. We're not entitled to a single document, a police report, an incident report, a take custody report, a fucking summary, a fucking email, a note, the Chief Miskinnis's emails. We're not entitled to dash cam video. We're not entitled to CCTV footage from all around the city. We're not entitled to the street cameras. We're not entitled to anything. That's a problem, Kenosha. So you guys don't like me because I'm writing some articles about Kenosha Police Department, but you want to sit in your houses and you want to bitch about what happened to Kenosha. How about you join in the fight and let's figure that out together. Let's do that together because I'm trying to get to the bottom of it too. I want to know exactly what happened because I can only stand in one spot live streaming something. I'm not around the entire city. I have to go based on what everyone else is saying and the hundreds of videos that we've all sat here and watched and tried to piece together a week's long worth of events. Let's get the documents from Kenosha. They don't want to give us any of that stuff. That's a problem. And it's a problem especially for Kenosha residents, okay? Because we are more entitled to that stuff than anybody else. It's our goddamn city, okay? So yeah, it is extremely weird that Kenosha would put out a press release about little old me. That's weird. Here's the other weird thing. So I had a conversation with Nazlik, and I'm not sure if this is on a recorded conversation that we had, but I tried to ask Nazlik about setting up an interview to bridge the gap between law enforcement and independent media. Okay? And sorry. Where we're trying to bridge the gap between law enforcement and independent media, and we want to have a sit down and kind of figure out how do we do this, right? So independents are not getting arrested, we're not getting harassed, shot at, all this stuff. Okay. They don't want that. The mayor of Kenosha has made it very clear. So is Chief Miskinnis. They want no transparency. They're not interested. They're not interested in any type of citizen oversight committee. They're not interested in any of these things. They don't want any of that. Okay. During the conversation that I had with Nazlik, I had talked to him about an incident that happened to me in Wauwatosa, where during Wauwatosa's curfew, I get stopped, which whatever. Okay. And then one of their lieutenants, Lieutenant Farina, comes up and starts talking to me while I'm live streaming, talking to me and asking me questions that you would ask a confidential informant while I'm fucking live. Okay? Now, for those of you that watched that video, I told this individual, like, I don't know, bro. I don't have any information for you. Shit's all coming up in comment sections. That's why I came out here. End of story. Okay? During the conversation I had with Farina months later and also with Nazlik just recently, I wanted to express to them some of the actions that they take, maybe knowingly, maybe unknowingly, that puts people's lives in danger by the dumb questions that they ask, okay, in front of people. This is a problem. You want to have a private conversation with me? You have one off the fucking record when I'm not live streaming, and I'm still going to tell you the same answer. I don't know anything. I'm just a journalist. I'm not an informant. Sorry, right? By putting out this statement, this media release, okay, which is defamatory in nature all in it of itself, because they cannot back up that I'm lying. They cannot back up that I've fabricated some document and I'm drawing conclusions and conjecture. I'm not. I cited, read my article. I cited what this said. This is what I did. I cited what this said. And then you guys take that information and do what you want. Okay? I cited what the federal document said. I'm not lying. If I'm lying, you're saying that my article is a lie, then you're saying that federal agents are lying. I didn't lie. But they're putting out false light and defamatory statements that Never.Stop Media is not credible and that we're lying. It's a problem. And you've now also painted a bigger target on my back than there was before. This is a problem. I contacted them. They were allowed to speak, give their statement, their side of the story. We recorded it. You heard it. But then you're going to put out a media release about me and how I'm a liar? But you let Kevin Matthewson run around and cause fucking harm to people. That's okay. Come on. This is a problem. This is a serious problem. Okay? And again, wait until the next article. It's going to piss him off even more. It's really going to piss him off. Okay? So, for those of you that want to support us and you want to help us fight to get these records, we're suing them. They're sued. It's filed already. There's a court date. The hearing is April 23rd at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay? So, if you want to support us and you want to help us fight KPD to be able to get all of you answers, okay? We'll put out some links. Feel free to donate. You don't want to donate? Don't donate. It helps us. Okay? All this stuff costs money. Okay? We're trying to get the answers. But again, you need to ask yourself, I'm showing actual documentation of something. Why is KPD not? That's the question. Not whether or not my article is rhetoric, like KPD is trying to have you believe. We attach documentation. Why is KPD not giving us documentation? If you're that adamant that I'm fucking so gravely mistaken, then provide me with real documents, and damn sure better make sure you do not send me another forged document. Send me real documentation. They redact stuff. Look at the papers. Okay? And we said this in our article. You see the black marks that are on these? That's redacted information. They're saying that we are not allowed to know what is behind all the black ink. We can't see that. We're not allowed that information. Okay, that's shitty, but okay. So send me documentation that's redacted if you have to, that talks about we fucked up, there was no fourth victim. Send me that, and I'll verify whether or not these documents are real or not, and if they are real, 100%. I will issue a retraction and a correction. And I've said that from day one. If I am ever wrong about something, I will 100% take accountability. I don't give a fuck about having egg on my face. I don't care about publicly saying, you know what, guys? I fucked up. I'm so sorry. Blah, 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 blah. I have no problem doing that. But until KPD wants to prove me wrong, sorry, I'm going with federal agent documents. Get out of here. And especially with some of this other stuff, I'm telling you, wait till we release this next article. Just watch. But there's too many questions. Why are you denying every single open records request? And again, stuff that doesn't even have to do with unrest and riots. I'm trying to just write articles about other stuff happening in Kenosha. I can't get anything. You've ignored me for 8 months. Now I block your $50,000 grant and I file a lawsuit against you. Now I'm your best friend. Listen to how he talks to me. Like he's my buddy. Like we've been chums for years. I don't know you, motherfucker. I don't know who you are. I've never met you. And you're my buddy? And then you go and put rhetoric out about me. Sorry, Chief. Not happening. Not happening. Those of you that are new to my platform yelling at me because I'm unprofessional, I've been abrasive since day one. As long as my brothers and sisters are getting murdered in the streets and getting beat up and getting lynched, and that's abrasive, I'll continue to be abrasive on my own platform. Okay? We're very pro-civil rights. We're very pro-civil liberties, and we investigate corruption within systems. That's what we do. To kind of lighten things down a little bit, because I like camping and hiking and all the shit, we started writing some camping style articles just because all this other shit is depressing as fuck. So we just tried to make some fun stuff. Okay? But again, if you don't want to hear me say the word fuck, don't watch me, just read the articles. Okay? I'm abrasive. I'm in your face. And again, as long as my brothers and sisters are getting murked in the streets, I'm going to be in your fucking face so you feel what they're going through. Okay? I felt it for a day. They felt it for fucking hundreds of years. Sorry if you don't like my attitude. And then now I got Kenosha fucking coming at me. No. Yeah, I'm a little upset. So that's, that's kind of that. Okay? If you guys would like to ask some questions, again, be respectful in the question. I will answer to the best of my ability. Okay? The point is to make sure that we're trying to get out truthful information. We're trying to make sure that the general public is aware and knows exactly what is going on within whatever community we happen to be writing about. Okay? And regardless of what it is, whether it's summer day at the beach laying in a fucking hammock and, 100 families picnicking, or it's, corruption within police departments. Here's the biggest thing. If you're not on bullshit, then you shouldn't have a problem being recorded. You shouldn't have a problem recording, and you shouldn't have a problem releasing documentation. If you didn't do anything wrong, you have no reason to not be like, you know what? Yeah, no problem. Here's all the documents that you asked for. We didn't do anything wrong. It's all right here. Okay? But also understand that I'm going to fucking question your documents' legitimacy, like we're seeing with the death of Jay Anderson, with Joseph fucking Mensa out in Wauwatosa. You guys should really follow that John Doe hearing. You should follow that, because we're seeing that Wauwatosa police is on some serious bullshit. Okay? Here's some other stuff, just so you guys maybe kind of get it a little bit at ease. Okay? I filed open records requests asking about discrimination when it comes to female officers in Kenosha Police Department. Why, you might ask? I don't know. Maybe Kevin's got a piece of information. Maybe Kevin is holding a fucking document that outlines something about a female officer or several female officers in Kenosha that are getting fucked with. And I don't like that. Okay? I filed open records requests on discrimination with black and brown officers that are having a problem getting fucking promoted. So again, maybe I just happen to have a document that makes me want to file that. And when you tell me that there are no documents and you tell me that the shit doesn't exist and I'm holding a document, I'm fucking suing you. Sorry, it's just happening. Okay? Are we having fun yet? I am. So, ask questions. What do you guys want to say? You don't have to agree with me. I'm totally okay with that. Totally fine with that. I'm going to keep writing, regardless of what people say. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You'll hear me. I'll write an article. I'll do a public fucking live. I'll retract whatever. But you better make sure I'm fucking wrong. Now, do I think that they're going to sue me? Yeah, 100%. 100% I believe they are. That's why they're recording my conversations. 100%. And here's the thing. In order to fucking sue me, you better damn well be able to prove that what I said is 100% a lie. And in order to do that, if you're not going to give me documents, you're going to have to give a fucking judge documents. And if they have to give a judge documents that outline something to do with the fourth victim, I guess there was a fourth victim then, wasn't there? So I'll take the risk of a fucking lawsuit. File it. Let's go to court. We're already going to court on one lawsuit. I got more coming. You want to sue me? Let's go. Let's argue about it. Because I'll make sure a judge is looking at some fucking documents. Kenosha also doesn't know that I may, again, possibly have some other documents related to a fourth victim or some other evidence that we've not publicly released yet. Because maybe we're trying to catch Kenosha lying to all of you. God damn, if there's some damning evidence against this fucking police department. Wait till my next article. You think they're pissed now? You think there's fucking media releases? Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. So, that's going to be my official statement about all of this stuff, okay? I didn't just write some random words on a website, okay? We attached actual documentation with everything that we do. You will never see me write articles about anything to the magnitude of something like this without giving video, audio, or an actual document or a combination of all of that. Okay? I'm not referring to anybody specifically, Sean, because I don't know who the fourth person was. Normally in a live, I might engage that conversation and kind of speculate some shit, but because of the magnitude with KPD at this point and their fucking media release, I'm not even going to speculate, because I don't want you guys to, go into a fucking tizzy even further. So like the articles say, what we're going to say is that we have a local law enforcement department, Waukesha Police Department, that has released a document about a fourth victim, and then United States Marshals that released a document about a fourth victim hours after the unrest on August 25th was done. So, and then again with the source within the police department that confirmed it January. That's the other thing too, like, are these people that naive and that arrogant that they don't think that there's people inside of their entities, whether it's, common council, alderman type shit, whether it's the police department, the district attorney's office, the fucking courthouse. You don't think there's some disgruntled people? You don't think there's some people really kind of irritated about some shit? And I may not have obtained something through a direct open records request, but I may have obtained a document directly fucking handed to me. And now because I can't necessarily trace where that document came from, now I have to file an open records request to make sure the document's fucking real. And when they deny me, or when they tell me that there is no such document, and I'm staring at a document, with people's signatures and type shit, keep thinking I'm fucking new. Keep thinking I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm incompetent. I'm the wrong one. You see me in the streets filming, I'm very quiet. I keep to myself. When this camera is shut off, I'm very quiet. I keep to myself. I'm very fucking peaceful. This camera's on, it's abrasive time. I don't care. I'm not trying to make fucking friends. I'm not trying to be buddy-buddy with fucking people. I'm trying to make sure that you actually have the actual truth. That old school style of journalism where journalists were actually investigating stuff, where journalists were really getting in the middle of the shit, right? This is all the reason why we cannot stand mainstream media, regardless of which side you're on, whatever your outlet is that you kind of are forced to watch at this point because that's all you have. Okay. I don't give a fuck what side you're on. None of us like mainstream media because it's just bullshit. All that real journalism is gone. And then you have independence where you're like, thank God for the independence. But then when the independents put out some serious shit, you're like, fuck the independents. They're garbage. That's fake news. Come on. Pat says, can you speak more about this from the article? Yes. So let's go with that. Yeah, so in the document from the United States Marshals, okay, and we went verbatim, word for word, okay, it says, so we started it with the second sentence, okay, here's the first sentence. I'll read the entire paragraph for you if you can't see it clear enough in the actual article. It says, our teams have been released and are on their way home as I write this email. Based on everything I have noted above, the police department believes things will get progressively worse, especially when the identity and connection to law enforcement of the shooter is reported on. So, sure, same as you just were like, can you talk about this more? 100%. And now, mind you, I'm not the only person that has this. There are fucking high-profile lawyers that are looking at this document, and there's fucking ACLU that's staring at this fucking document, asking the very same questions that you guys are. Instead of attacking me, understand that there's more important people than me staring at this document going, what the fuck? And there's multiple questions, okay? So they're worried about the identity and connection to law enforcement of the shooter once the shooter is reported on. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if he's like well connected to the fucking chief of police. I don't know if that has anything to do with his little junior fucking cadet program. I have no idea. I don't know what that means. Okay. As such, they have asked for continued support from our task force. Other than pieces of armor assisting with crowd control and static posts, we are the only teams running QRF, okay? In support of their patrol officers, I can only pass on that they are extremely appreciative and grateful for the assistance we have been providing. Based upon the scenario in front of us, I don't see how we can discontinue support at this time. At this time, I am putting our task force on notice for a 5 p.m. meet and brief. You see what I'm saying? Naslik will tell you that no, there's no command post. They don't do debriefings. The fucking agent is saying, okay, for a 5 p.m. meet and brief. Like, we're all new. You just watch a fucking movie, you know that they do debriefings. Okay? At the CP, which is Civic Park, okay, area this afternoon, as we did yesterday. Please give me a call in the morning if you would like to discuss further. I will be setting an alarm for noon, but I understand if you need to talk to me earlier than that. QRF is Quick Response Force. I'm assuming the F is for force. Usually it's like QRT, Quick Response Team, but sometimes like these different entities, they I don't know, they fuck with the letters. Like you'll have You'll have SRT, you'll have CRT. It's all the same type of stuff. That's all like your kitted out style officers, you know, or like what you would refer to as SWAT, things like that. Right? You know, and the thing is too that, you know, so you guys understand when it comes to some journalism stuff, whether it's independent or whether it's mainstream media, or even you guys can file open records requests. You can do the same thing I'm doing. And guess what? That makes you a fucking journalist. It does. So quit telling us that we're not journalists. You don't like mainstream media, but you want to fucking denounce us when we try to give you real stuff. You guys can do the same exact thing that we're doing. Do it. Quit yelling at us and cussing us out and just do it. File your own open records request. You want to know how to do it? Send me a message. I'll teach you. I'd rather have 100,000 Kenosha residents all filing open records requests that force this department to have transparency than a handful of us trying to do it and getting yelled at by Kenoshans. Okay? So there's things where I'll get a document and I'm like, well, this is only one piece to the puzzle. I don't fucking know. I don't know what this means. And then I got to file a second open records request to try to get other pieces of the puzzle. Right? There's a lot to it. You guys have no idea how long I even have been sitting on documents. You have no idea. I have documents that I've been sitting on for 8 months. What should we respond to Kevin? What should we... Kevin Mathewson, I'm glad he writes to me, he says, Kevin, we saw the statement from KPD today. They are saying unequivocally, that's a big word for Kevin Mathewson, unequivocally. This is the same fucking jagoff, okay, that has put my 6-year-old son in fucking danger. So fuck this guy, right? They are saying unequivocally that you have been telling untruths. Do you have any intentions on correcting your blog posts? What should we write to him? Absolutely not? Or go fuck yourself? Scumbag. You know, and here's the thing, guys. When it comes to independent media, okay, and I've even written about this, okay? I'll talk specifically about my company, okay? I have a legitimate company. It's an LLC. It's registered in the state of Wisconsin. Regardless of whatever rhetoric is going around that the company is illegitimate, it is 100% legitimate. It's a registered LLC, okay? I have, and let's compare it, right? Mainstream media, okay? Fox 6, legitimate company, right? It's a registered company, whatever fucking state that, you know, they're based out of, right? I have a platform. I use my website. Mainstream media has websites, correct? I have social media. Mainstream media has social media, right? Whether it's YouTube channels, Twitters, fucking LinkedIn's, Facebook's, whatever it may be, right? So we're the same so far, okay? I've been known to live stream events. Mainstream media live streams events. Law enforcement will recognize us because we live stream, but they'll recognize mainstream media when they live stream. So far, we're the same, right? I have liability insurance on my company. I pay that monthly, okay? And that's to protect myself from frivolous lawsuits, right? Mainstream media has insurance. We're the same still, right? I have attorneys, okay? Mainstream media has attorneys. The difference is that mainstream media gets to go, hey, Bob, can we call the in-house counsel to meet us in the conference room? I don't have that. I wait for the day I can say, can we get the in-house counsel to fucking get the fuck in here now? We got a problem, right? That's funny. So we're the same, okay? Everything's the same. Here's two big differences. one of the journalists I talked to today is a very well-known journalist. I was really hoping that they would have actually written on this fourth victim thing, but there's too many questions, which I get, okay? I don't expect mainstream media to cover this because there are too many fucking questions, okay? All it would have taken is one mainstream media outlet to actually cover what the fuck is going on, and then all of a sudden I'm fucking credible again, right? So here's the thing. While the journalists themselves believes what I'm saying, because we're talking on the record, we're talking off the record, they're kind of privy to some other shit that I don't tell you guys, okay? They believed what I said, but because I'm getting all this backlash right now, their company, they don't want the backlash. For me, I don't give a fuck. They do. They care. They have to, this journalist has to go to their editor and be like, okay, here's the deal. I talked to him. This is what the story is. This is how he came to the conclusion of this. These are the documents that he has. He's emailed them to me. I have all of the originals, you know, whatever. Let's look it all over. And then they all sit in a meeting, okay? And then they decide whether or not to run the story, okay? I do a similar thing where I get certain people on the phone and I say, hey, I'm holding a fucking federal agent document about a fourth victim that they're claiming died by Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's talk about this. This is serious. What are the ramifications to the general public? What are the ramifications for me? Am I going to get sued if I release this? What is the public outcry? Does Kenosha fucking burn down tonight if I release this information? What happens? Let's discuss all the shit, okay? And we cover our bases. We ask ourselves, is this, and it's usually not, I don't even ask the question to me. It's usually asked from the person I talk to. This is the exact question they ask me. Is this a story that needs to get out? Or is this a story you just want to get out? Okay? And I've had stories that I just want to get out because I think it's important. And my person has said, yeah, probably not the fucking best story. Maybe sit on it. Wait until maybe it develops a little bit more. And I'm like, fuck, right? But I'm the owner, so I decide, okay? Now, they have an editor that will approve or deny a journalist's story. I don't have that. It's my name on the LLC. I own the company. I'm the only person here. So I make the decision. If I feel that holding federal documents is something that Kenosha needs to know, I'm probably going to fucking release this. And then the other biggest thing with between independent and mainstream media, okay, is mainstream media has government sponsors and corporate sponsors. I don't have sponsors. I don't have people that tell me what I can and can't do and where I can and can't go and what stories I can and can't cover. I don't have that. I decide. And right now, we're covering stories that have to do with my black and brown and indigenous brothers and sisters and shitty ass fucking police so that the good police are no longer in danger. That's what I do. And sometimes I'll write about hammocks. What else? What other questions you guys want to know? Sorry, my eye itches. My eye has been dry all day long. So it's, you know, it's irresponsible that KPD puts this out. We have tried repeatedly. You've heard me. You've heard me practically beg on these phone conversations to provide me with the documents, and they won't. Why is it that Kenosha will not release anything, but everybody else is, right? Naziluk will have you thinking by listening to him that I'm incompetent and don't know how to write open records requests. Naziluk doesn't know the process that I go through behind the scenes to make sure that the open records request that I have in my hand that I'm about to file is legitimate and noteworthy. These people don't know what I do back here. They think I'm just blogging on a fucking website. That's not what I do. That's not what I do. I didn't lose everything. I didn't lose my house. I haven't seen my kid in a year. I fucking eat ramen every day. I'm living 24 hours at a fucking time. Alright? I wear a bulletproof vest on a daily fucking basis because I have lunatics show up outside of my residences. Okay? I didn't go through all of that to blog on some fucking website. I can blog in my free time. But isn't it weird though? Let's just say I was a blogger and that's all I was. Why is KPD paying this much attention to me? Why am I on their radar this much? I obviously have a loud enough voice. It's causing attention. But why? What are they so nervous for? I'm nobody. I lie all the time apparently. I put out rhetoric. Why are they nervous? What's the problem, KPD? What's the problem? How about let's make a deal? Let's do this. This will be an official statement from Kevin too. Okay? You ready? Because KPD will watch this. If they're not watching this already, because they tune in when I go live. If they're not watching everyone just say hi. Say hi to KPD. There's good officers. There's really good ones. One of my favorites is fucking resigning, and we don't know why. We're trying to get answers to that because he's a wonderful black officer. And why the fuck is he leaving that department? We don't know. We don't know. But here, this will be part of my official statement towards KPD too. You ready for this? You ready? Noslick, Ms. Guinness, everybody else, and the city attorney that's probably going to fucking come at me. You ready? I'll stop telling the truth about you if you quit telling lies about me. End statement. I think it's fucking great. Okay? You guys take that. I'll stop telling truths about you if you quit telling lies about me. Their media release on me that painted a massive target on my back. That's a problem. I already have a big target. I get death threats, everything from I'm going to kick your ass to how my guts are going to get blown out to how I'm violently going to be sexually assaulted. And then I have lunatics that want to go kiss my 7-year-old son while he's fucking sleeping. So thank you, KPD, for adding more bullshit to my life. Thank you. Appreciate it. So that's that. That's good. What else? What other questions you guys have? Let's get into it. Why not? Fuck it. Let's go. 3 hours left on the stream. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's dive into it. Let's fucking go. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. My court hearing for the mandamus lawsuit is April 23rd. That's public. You guys can tune in and you guys can watch that. Okay. And I encourage you to. You're going to hear me argue. You're going to hear, I don't know. I've never been to a fucking mandamus lawsuit, but I would assume that we're going to be heavily talking about each of my open records requests and why I filed certain ones. And they're going to want to know a lot of shit. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a nice legal argument. And you guys are going to see my legal skills inside of a courtroom, whether or not I know what the fuck I'm doing or not. My eyeball itches. I don't like it. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning. So, I think, I don't know. I gotta look and see if I don't think I have the Zoom thing yet, but I'll post that, obviously. Because I do want people to see, I want everyone to watch that. Whether I lose or I win. It's, you know, it's part of our journey. It's a fight that we have. We're trying to get records so that we can go through the records and be like, okay, well, this is bullshit, right? Dude, I have dozens of fucking CDs and shit from different departments where we open it up and we're looking at videos or we're looking at whatever document and we're like, garbage. It doesn't matter. I don't just get every single paperwork and then just start fucking releasing it all, because some of it's stupid. It doesn't matter. It's nothing. It's fucking dumb. But if there's something of interest that I think people need to know, then yeah. There's a reason I filed now 19 different open records requests, and only 13 of them, because at the time that we filed the mandamus lawsuit, there were 13 at the time. So only 13 of them are going to be argued in a courtroom. Okay. Now I'm waiting, obviously, before I file a second mandamus lawsuit for the other 6, to see the outcome of what happens with these 13. I don't give a fuck if I lose. I don't care. We're going to go again. We'll start over. We're going to keep going. You know, it is what it is. So what do you guys want to chat about? Some of you are, I've not watched very much with the Chauvin trial. You know, I typically watch an hour from Mercado Media, Mercado Media's live stream or restream. I generally watch an hour of his thing while I'm sitting having coffee and eating breakfast. And then, unfortunately, I need to start my day because I'm obviously dealing with this type of shit. So my day starts at, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's my kind of relaxed time. And then, by 9 o'clock, I'm watching an hour of their trial. And then, by 10, I'm doing what I need to do. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, and here's what I'll say. Okay. So I'm reading comments on the Kenosha Police Department Facebook page, and there's obviously a lot of people attacking me, calling me fake news, and we're putting out fucking lies and blah, 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 blah. Okay. These are all the same people whose opinions I don't give a fuck about anyway. All right. These are the same people that don't care about Black lives. Okay. Here's the thing. We're putting out real documents about 4th victims. Are there other open-ended questions? 100%. Okay. Let's look at the George Floyd situation in Chauvin on trial right now. Okay. How much information when it comes to what happened that day are you guys just now learning right now that was not public information at the time that George Floyd died? Right? There's a fuck of a lot. And it's the same thing. Okay? We may not have every piece of the puzzle to say, ha! Fuck you, KPD. You lied. And you made it look like I was a piece of shit. But it's coming. It's coming. The same as the Chauvin trial. Okay? We didn't know all the details on day 1. And here we are all these many months later. And now we're like, whoa, I didn't know that happened. The fuck? Okay? And again, when it comes to this 4th victim, if Kenosha Police Department is right, send me the fucking documents that prove that. Otherwise, I'm not listening to you. I'll listen to the feds. And especially with some forged ass documents that we've gotten. Yeah, they did try to blast me. Not tried, they did. Oh, they talking about my criminal background? I didn't even see that. Yeah, I have one. I got a pretty colored fucking past. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's fucking gross. Yeah, I have talked about it very openly. Did videos on it. I've written about it. Talked about it. I've even been very open that I wasn't, even necessarily on the side of the movement. I would be considered the fucking enemy. I've said some horrible fucking things in my past. I've done some horrible things. I've admitted to this. I've taken accountability for it. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. When they attack that, they attack it to discredit, right? And it's the same thing that we've seen happen to all the major names that we're all hearing and all these things. They do this stuff to attack people, right? And discredit them, to silence them so that people don't listen. Okay. For me, it's like you just knocked on a fucking address that I don't live at anymore. And you're still on the door banging. You know what I mean? I don't live there. The fuck? Why are you at that house banging on the fucking door? Nobody's home, bro. I'm over here fucking, I'm doing this now. So, yeah, I don't care. I mean, I'm used to it. You know what I mean? I knew it obviously going into this, because I am a nobody, essentially, right? And I knew the minute I turned this camera on that, that's going to come out. And little by little, I've been very vocal about different elements of my life. And when some of that stuff first started coming out, I ignored it. And then it came out hardcore. And then we needed to fucking address it. And I did. You guys can go on the Never Stop Media page that you're watching this shit from, or the lurkers that don't actually click on the fucking video. There's a video. It's called something like "Who Am I? The Elephant in the Room." It outlines everything I had to deal with as a child, what my middle life was like, where all these arrests came from, and then where I'm at fucking today. So I don't give a fuck. I've done bad things. It's horrible. There's nothing any one of you can say that's gonna fucking judge me harder than I judge myself. Okay? So yeah, they like to talk about that. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm open about it. I talk about it. I discuss it. I'm not hiding it. I'm not trying to say it didn't happen. Do I have stuff on my background that 100% didn't happen? Yeah, 100%. I pled guilty because I'm a giant fucking bitch when it comes to going to jail. I'll say that. I'm an absolute fucking scary little bitch when it comes to jail. I used to like breaking the law, and then I would fucking cry like a baby when I got handcuffed and had to go to jail. I don't like it. I'll fucking plead guilty to whatever you want me to plead guilty to as long as I get the fuck out today. That's how I was. So yeah, there's things on my background that I've never actually done, but I got to go home. And then there's things on my background that I 100% have done, and it's fucking horrendous. I've taken accountability for it. So that's that. What else? What other questions? Comments? Again, if you guys wanna help, I do push donations because I got chased out of my job because of these types of stories. But these documents cost money, and literally every dollar helps. So I'm going to be posting some links here randomly, but yeah. I got people that are on that KPD post that are sitting here, and they're my article is fake. The whole thing is fake. But then they've literally blatantly said that the federal document that we released is fucking fake too. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, like Sean says, it's all about change and growth. 100%. Now listen, I 100% agree, okay? Like, people are going to judge me regardless, and that's just how it is. People judge. It is what it is, okay? If I was still acting in that manner, 100% I would deserve everybody's bullshit. 100%. Fuck this guy. He's a fucking scumbag. He's still doing this type of shit. By all means. But when we take individuals that have fucked up and we don't ever allow them to move on after they've either done time or gotten probation or had to pay a fine, if we don't ever allow that individual to move on, how do we expect people to have a forward progress? And then you continuously put them in fucked up positions because you constantly remind them about what a scumbag piece of shit they are. And then they can't get jobs. They can't move into different residences, right? You make their life a living fucking hell. And then they go and break the law again. And then it's this vicious cycle. And then you're like, oh, see, I told you. But how about you just shut the fuck up and let that person try to move on? How about that? How about we do that? That sounds like a better program. Know what I mean? I've done bad things. I've done some fucking horrible things. How about you let me try to move on so I can try to get my life back? How about that? How about give me the opportunity to show you, the same as the judge did in my last case, the same as the judge did. Wagner told me, I'm going to give you the rope. You're either going to dig yourself out of the hole you fucking put yourself in, or you're going to fucking hang yourself. And you know what I did with that rope? I dug myself out of that fucking hole. And I've spent the last 5 years making sure my life was fucking super crispy. So, you know, that's that. You know, when it comes to these articles, okay, here's the original article. KPD, why didn't KPD put out a fucking press release about my first article? They didn't seem that worried. They didn't seem that worried when Waukesha, with the little bullshit Waukesha document. But now I got Fed documents. And then we write another article with the Fed document. And now they're like, oh shit. We better put out a press release. Don't listen to this guy. He's crazy. He lies. So that's the first article. I want you guys to click on these articles and share them out. Okay? Again, I am going based off of documentation that we are receiving and my source. And that source knows I will literally fucking go to jail protecting their identity. 100%. And here's the newest article that we released for those of you that haven't read it. Yeah, of course they're fucking scared, dude. Of course they're scared. Again, it's really simple. Just send me the documentation. Bro, I will even fucking take, hey, this is off the record. Okay? We need you to come down to the police department. And this is for any department. I don't give a fuck. We need you to come down to the police department. They hand me a 10-page fucking contract that says, you're going to shut the fuck up. Sign this, and we're going to show you some shit. Okay. I'll sign it. And then let's sit down and fucking start showing me shit. And let me look at shit. And the same as I would protect any one of you with information you gave or your identity or whatever it may be, I will literally shut the fuck up. I will literally shut the fuck up because I signed something that said I had to shut the fuck up. Just let me see it. Let me see it. And here's the outcome. If my articles are still up after I sign some shit of shut the fuck up and my articles are up, guess what? If the articles magically disappear, guess I'm wrong, but I can't talk about it. No, they didn't care when the Waukesha document came out, but they're freaking out when the Fed document came out. That's big. That's feds. That's serious shit. What happens when my FBI records come and then I get an FBI record? Am I still going to be the liar? Am I still going to be the non-credible fucking journalist or the fake journalist or the blogger or, you know, fake media? Like, I mean, come on. You got people that are seriously interested in this information. I'm not the only one questioning this stuff. Yeah, this is fucking 100%. See, I'm already getting this is the thing. I'm getting a message. I'm not going to tell you who it is or what it says, but I'm getting a message from somebody, okay? That, like, just people that'll send in like a tip, like, hey, we heard this. If that's something of interest to me and I have time, maybe I'll start digging into it. If it's not, I don't care. Or, you know, especially if somebody sends me a screenshot, if somebody hands me a document, or somebody sends me a fucked up video, yeah, we're definitely going to start looking. Well, and you know what, Lindsay, I 100% appreciate that, but here's what I'll say to that is you guys should check me too. 100%. You should make sure that what I'm putting out is truthful. And this is with any media source. Make sure that what you're actually listening to is truth. And here's a perfect example, okay? One of the days that I was filming TPR during the holidays, okay? And they marched through Candy Cane Lane, okay? And rhetoric immediately hit social media that TPR was protesting this cancer charity, all right? They weren't doing that, okay? They actually didn't disrupt the charity, that, you know, whatever, right? So this right-wing article goes out, okay? And they're allowed to say what they have to say, and they're allowed to have their opinions, whether we agree with them or not. Same as they don't agree with people on the left and blah, 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 right? Anyway, this right-wing article goes out. They attached my video. They linked my video to their article, okay? They had a resident, because sure, were there residents that were disgruntled that fucking, you know, protesters are coming through this wonderful charity event? Of course there were people pissed off, okay? But there were a lot of motherfuckers that were out there having a good time, coming out of their houses and getting out of their fucking cars, right? So there's a resident, okay, that came out and filmed where protesters basically surrounded a car, okay? And it's like a minute-long clip, and the article refers to this minute-long clip, and it's basically like, look at these BLM thugs harassing, you know, drivers trying to look at Christmas lights, okay? Now, everybody believed what the article said, and they believed the 1-minute video clip. Because if you look at the 1-minute video clip, yes, 100%, it looks like there are horrible fucking people surrounding a car, antagonizing this car, and fucking with the occupants of the vehicle. If you look at that, sure, that's what it looks like. Now, mind you, my video is attached to this article, and it's at the top of this fucking retarded ass article, okay? If you watched my video, I was filming from the other side, where you can see that the driver and the passenger were black parents, and there were children in the back seat dancing, and the gentleman that was on the megaphone and the few individuals that were around the car were chanting "Black Children Matter" as the black children were dancing and mom and dad were cheering them on. So that's where, while yes, I do appreciate you guys reading my stuff, watching the videos, generally trusting what we put out to be factual. That's why we always link something. Okay. I still challenge you guys to question it. I challenge you to have critical thinking skills. Okay. I want you to look at whatever your media source is, and then look at your enemy's media source. Okay. Somewhere in the middle there's fucking truth to something, right? If we just look at one media source and we don't question whether or not what they're putting out is actually factual, we start running into serious fucking problems. And this is one of the reasons, not the fucking only reason, but one of the reasons why we're attacking each other and having all of these arguments. Okay, it's one of the reasons we're so divided, because there is a bunch of rhetoric and bullshit that is going around. Now, is there bullshit on the left? Yes, there is. Is there bullshit on the right? Yes, there is. Are there truths and facts from the left? Yes, there is. Are there truths and facts from the right? Yes, there is. But it's about getting to that actual truth. If we're only here, we don't see something over there. And then the other thing, very dangerous thing, is let's pretend you're liberal or you're a leftist or whatever. The two words are very different. Okay, let's just pretend. To just blatantly disregard something that came from the right is ignorant, because there are truths that the right does talk about, and then vice versa. If you're on the right, to blatantly fucking say, I'm not listening to these liberals, I'm not listening to these Democrats, I'm not listening to these leftists, you're missing out on opportunity to educate yourself of something that might actually be fucking factual. And you're sitting here looking like a jackass arguing about something, and you don't actually have the facts. So yes, while I do again appreciate that generally you guys read our stuff, you watch our lives, you watch videos that we put out, and you believe what we're putting out, 100%, please question. Please fact check. Okay? Why don't all of you watching, why don't all of you file open records requests with the Kenosha Police Department and ask about a fourth victim? Tell them you want your records when it comes to August 25th, fourth victim, and you want emails, and you want documents, and you want videos. You want all of it. All of you watching, do that. And let's see if together, collectively, we can get to the bottom of this. And if you guys get denied, then you'll understand the struggle that I'm dealing with. Okay? But if all of us come together, and even if you don't like me, file the open records request to prove me wrong. Ultimately, what you need to understand is prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Stop being corrupt. Stop murking my brothers and sisters. Stop hiding evidence. Stop moving evidence. Quit touching shit. Quit investigating shit you're not supposed to be. Quit forging fucking documents. Quit not making a document that you should have. Just wait until we expose some more shit. Stop doing this. Put me out of work so I can write about fucking camping. That's what I want. I want to write about camping and backpacks and fucking hammocks. Let me be the outdoor journalist so I can get the fuck away from the box of chaos and go travel and fucking stare at trees and write about it. Okay? Put me out of work. Can we file FOIA online? That's a great question. Some places, yes, they do allow that. Other places, they don't. You have to fax. Other places, you have to personally go in. Things like that. But yes, of course. You guys want to do it? Here's a great idea. This is a great idea. Why don't we do this? Since Kenosha Police Department wants to make me look like a fucking incompetent, lying fucking piece of shit, right? That is trying to stir the pot so Kenosha fucking lights on fire again. Remember what happened to me at the Hampton Inn? You remember when the Hampton Inn was on some bullshit and then we participated in email campaigns and phone blitzes because we were exercising our First Amendment rights, and we're allowed to express our disdain for bullshit police, right? We're allowed to send emails to our government officials letting them know how their constituents feel. We're allowed to do that. We're allowed to call them on the phone and leave messages. Let's do that. Why don't we do that? Remember, I've said multiple times, I'm a journalist. The last thing you want to do is turn me into a motherfucking activist. I'm the wrong one. So let's do that. That's a great idea, Jan. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what KPD thinks about this. Fuckers. Let me get you the fucking address. My eyes are itchy too, so if I'm blinking, my contacts are dry as fuck. Let's do it. We're gonna all file an open record. What do you guys want to do the open records request on? Do you want to do it on the fourth victim? Since that's what we're talking about? Let's do that. You want to do the fourth victim? Get a pen and paper. We're all going to learn how to file an open records request now. This is where we're all coming together. And here's why, Kenosha. Because every one of us in Kenosha, first, primary, and then secondary, everybody else, has a right to know, is there in fact a fourth victim? And if there's not, why the fuck are two government entities talking about it? If there is, why are two government entities talking about it? And why is Kenosha fucking denying it? But they're not supplying proof or any type of evidence to support their fucking denial. I'll take a Fed document. Let's do it. Let's learn how to file an open records request together. Ooh, this is fun. Okay? I want 100,000 fucking open records requests. Ready? I hope they're fucking prepared for this. I almost cost the Hampton Inn their license. We came close. We lost that battle. I'm okay with losing. You ready? You guys have pens and papers? Let's do it together. Because you can actually email this open records request. 100%. That's facts. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's do it. Get ready, KPD. Let's not do phone blitzes though, because like there's legit people that fucking dial 911 and they gotta talk to dispatch. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Let's just blow up their fucking emails. Don't call. Not for this. Okay, this is the email. John, why do you always come on my shit and start fucking with me? They didn't have a license. They had to go through the process. And then I testified at their hearing. You always come on my shit, bro, and you always want to start fucking with me. Maybe pay attention to the words coming out of my mouth. They got approved at the hearing that I testified at. We lost on the vote. Okay, back to what I'm doing. There's the email. Okay, this is for the public information officer. His name is Lieutenant Joseph Noslick. Okay. Yeah, I testified at the hearing. And then they tried to stop me from testifying to certain things, and I made them not fucking stop me. Don't put me in a fucking hearing. All right, there's the email. Now, here's what you're going to write. Let me find my fucking thing. Now, I'm going to tell you that you're going to get denied because it is directly related to Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse is obviously an open case. What Naslik is saying, whether it's going to affect his defense or affect the prosecution, is 100% correct. Okay, so we're not going to see this shit. Here's the reality too, people. I need you to understand this. Kyle Rittenhouse is not even in fucking trial yet. Look how long it took for George Floyd's case, his death, to get, Chauvin into a fucking courtroom, right? Here's the reality. Anything that Kyle Rittenhouse fucking looked at, smiled at, touched, walked past, fucking breathed on, we're not going to see any of this until his case is done. If he is found innocent, okay? Here's the best part. If he's found innocent, those documents become public record. All that evidence that was entered in for discovery, like what you're hearing with Chauvin, that's public record now. Now you get it. There's your answers. If Kyle Rittenhouse is found guilty, odds are you're not going to get the stuff because he still has right to his appeals. We have to wait until that whole process is done. Now, let's pretend, fast forward, everything's done. He's either found innocent or he's found guilty. Appeals process is all done. If at that point Kenosha still doesn't release any records, something's wrong. Okay. So, we obviously want video footage. Right? A video would show us if there's a fourth person, presumably, that got shot. Okay? Write this down. These are the different types of videos that you want to ask for. Okay? You want to ask for dash cam video. You want to ask for body cam video. You want to ask for CCTV video. And then let me get you the proper verbiage when it comes to surveillance. You want to ask for electronic, cellular, telephonic interception, or surveillance of any kind. Okay. You want to ask for arrest records. Maybe the person's walking around. According to Waukesha, they might be. They're a little unsure. They know there's a fourth victim. They're not sure what happened to him. The feds say he's dead. But we don't know. We don't know. We're fishing. So we want an arrest record. Maybe he got shot and they fucking arrested him. We don't know. Okay. You want to ask for an incident report. Okay. You want to ask for a take custody report. Okay, and let me get the name of this fucking document. You want to ask for a Kenosha Police Department summary report. If I'm going too fast, let me know. What comes after cellular? Telephonic interception or surveillance of any kind. Okay. You want to ask for interview video. Okay, so this is like what we released with Kyle Rittenhouse and Wendy and Dominic Black. We see them in Antioch Police Department inside of an interview room. Interview rooms are generally recorded. Sometimes they are not. Okay. All right, that pretty much covers your video, and that covers types of surveillance. Okay, the one thing about surveillance, like, we know that Kenosha Police Department used drones. We know that for a fact. You can write drone video. Okay, here's the problem. When you get very specific and you say drone video, or like the FBI calls their drone the plane, they're going to look at you like you're fucking dumb and they don't know what you're talking about. Okay. When it comes to how they pull cell phone data, like in Wauwatosa, that system is called the FRED. You start filing open records requests saying the FRED, they're going to look at you like you're dumb. Plus, you also kind of shoot yourself in the foot because you've been so specific that you're only going to get documents, some type of record specific to that thing, instead of it flagging all this other shit where it'll pull that information, but you could actually get like this holy shit federal document and be like, whoa, fuck, I didn't expect that. Okay. So this pretty much covers the different types of video footage and surveillance type of things. Okay. So that'll cover the FRED, that'll cover stingrays, that'll cover all these types of things. Okay. One thing that we learned is that you're going to ask for emails. Okay, let's get into like the written form of stuff. You're going to ask for emails. Okay. One thing that we learned when it comes to the emails is we'll get an email and there's attachments, but we didn't say the word attachment, so we didn't get the attachment. Okay. So you want to write the word attachments. Okay. The other thing is that obviously in attachments, it's either going to be video or that's going to be a PDF, right? An audio file that was attached to this email. Okay. If you don't write the word PDF, they may not send you the PDF attachment. So you want to write the word PDF. Okay. So emails, attachments, PDFs. Now here's the wonderful part. The chief of police has to give you his emails too. The chief of police for the next 2 weeks in Kenosha is Chief Miskinnis. You're probably not going to get shit directly from Chief Miskinnis at this point because Chief Miskinnis doesn't want to be bothered with anything for the next 2 fucking weeks because he just wants to retire peacefully. I don't blame him. He's on blast. But you want to ask for the chief of police, Miskinnis's emails. One thing that we found out when it comes to open records requests in the various government entities that we filed these requests on is that chiefs don't like giving up their emails. And a lot of times they're going to be on bullshit and they're going to try to deny you because it's their private emails. That's bullshit. Okay. They're still a public servant and they're required to give those emails. Another thing that we found out, some bullshit trick that they like doing, is that they will start talking about their personal lives. They will talk about their kids, or they will talk about their wives, or they will talk about a fucking picnic or a baseball game. This is a trick and a tactic that they use inside of emails to claim via open records law that personal emails are not public record. Okay? So it's kind of one of those things where you sort of need to know that an email exists so that if they tell you there is no fucking email in the chief's emails, you can call them out on their bullshit. Generally, though, if there is some personal information and you are lucky enough to get the chief's emails, that personal information will be redacted. You're going to lose your fucking mind thinking that there's some secret sneaky shit, but odds are it could potentially just be they talked about their wife or the Boston Red Sox, or they talked about some sneaky shit. Okay. The other thing, you want to write the word images. Okay. This will cover all your different types of picture type things. Okay. If you have reason to believe that maybe a warrant was issued or a subpoena was issued, You want to write the words warrants and subpoenas. I'll type his name. That's his name. Okay. Warrants and subpoenas. We've talked about arrest records, incident reports. Okay. We have a document that we've not released yet. It's from another law enforcement entity that was in Kenosha. Okay. What this document is called, it's called a call sheet. Okay. In the call sheet, what that is basically their radio traffic that has been transcribed on paper form that tells you what they've done. Now we have a couple of these, and it highlights both sides. It highlights what protesters did and what rioters did, and then it also highlights what law enforcement did. Okay. We've not released it because we only have a couple of them. We're waiting on some others because that only paints a small picture. But it does give us an insight of what the fuck actually happened. Okay. So we want call sheets. Now, if you pay attention to Wisconsin Examiner, they're really leading the fucking charge against Wauwatosa. Isaiah wrote an article, and he released in this article a 55-page operational plan. Okay. And that pretty much describes like what their plan is for whatever type of event is fucking happening. Okay. So you want to write the words operation plans. Okay. You want to write the words bullet points, PowerPoints, memos, and then these two very controversial words, notes and drafts. Now, according to open records law, notes and drafts are not considered public records unless that note or draft was used in the commission of a fucking report. If the note just says, remind myself to do my fucking job today, that's not a public record. Okay. Be careful with the use of the words notes and drafts because that could be something that gets your records request denied. Okay. I still put it in there because we have received notes and we have received drafts. You want to write the word interviews. Now, we've already done interview video, but you want to write the word interviews. Okay. That will highlight any paper element of an interview. So if you've ever had to give a police statement, they're writing this shit down and then they type it up in an official form, and that's your statement. That's an interview. Okay. So we want that. I get a little technical in some of the shit that I write. So I write any materials. You don't have to necessarily write this. It's in the open records law. That's why I write it. Any materials on which written, drawn, printed, handwritten, typed documents. Okay. We've said the word images. Okay. You can use the word photographs. Sometimes an image and a photograph might be two separate things. Even though we think it's the same, it could potentially be two separate things. Okay. Films. That's a type of record. Okay. Now let's get into some audio stuff. Okay. So you have 911 phone calls. Okay. That's public record. You have the dispatch communication. So like when we tune into like Broadcastify and we're listening to police scanners. Okay. That's radio traffic between squad cars. And then you hear the dispatch officers talking to the office, the patrol officers. Okay. So you want 911 calls. You want dispatch audio. Okay. Officers generally have microphones attached to their bodies. Okay. That's their audio mic. I don't know the proper terminology for it, so I just write the words officer audio mic or officer mic audio, MIC for mic. They know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. That pretty much kind of covers like generally the audio things. Surveillance will hit some audio shit. Okay. And then what I also write, I kind of end it with updates of any kind, which were either shared or retained by. Now, what that means is that if we're filing against Kenosha and Wauwatosa, Waukesha, Mount Pleasant did some shit, those entities are going to hand over what they have to Kenosha. Okay. Kenosha is going to do their own shit, so that's retained by Kenosha, or shared from the other entities that they shared it with Kenosha. Okay. So either shared or retained by members of the Kenosha Police Department. Including, and this is kind of, redundant, but I say it again, essentially in a different verbiage, including, but not limited to, outside assisting agencies. So that will cover everybody the fuck else that may have been involved in something. Okay. So now we've told them what records that we want, the types of records, right? That you have to do that. Okay. So then I write, which have any of the following keywords. When it comes to when you're trying to get actual documentations, okay, here's what they do. They put all this data inside of their computer. Do not let them fool you and tell you otherwise. They put this information inside of a computer system and they type in all these words, okay? They type in the words emails. They type in the words fucking call sheets. All the shit, okay? And then they have your keywords and they enter that in. And I filed open records requests, like I have one on TOSA for 20 years worth of documents where I have primary keywords and secondary keywords, okay? Because I'm trying to be real motherfucking specific, right? So which have any of the following keywords, okay? And then you guys could just go crazy with whatever the fuck you're looking for. So we're specifically looking for fourth victim, okay? So you're going to type, you have to, you don't have a fucking choice. Kyle Rittenhouse. You're going to use the word gunshot. You're going to use the word victim. You're going to use the word fourth victim. Okay. So that's kind of, let's pretend we don't know what we already know with federal documents and shit. That's kind of what we would know, right? That there's some gunshots, Kyle Rittenhouse is shooting, and some people got fucking shot, right? And you guys can adapt those keywords however the fuck you want. Okay, if you think you know something more than me, put another word in. Okay, so now we've told them the types of records we want, and then we've told them specifically these types of records that utilize these words. Okay, now we have to tell them when, right? So obviously we know this was August 25th, right? What I'm going to tell you is that you want to write August 25th, 2020. And you're also going to want to write August 26th, 2020. Because while there's shooting happening generally around 11 p.m., once you hit midnight, you are technically in August 26th. Okay? So now we've narrowed down the dates. If you want to be even more specific, because they like specificity, put the actual times. Okay. So if you want to, I usually do whether an hour, maybe 2 hours before, and an hour, 2 hours after an event. Okay. So we know that a little after 11 o'clock, shooting ensues. So you could put from 10 p.m. to, and since we have documents, that fucking go at 4 o'clock in the morning, put from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Here's the downfall about doing that is that one, you've become too specific and you may potentially not get a document that is outside of that parameter, and that document might be your what the fuck document. Okay. Now, sometimes I like to put where I'm specifically talking about August. Okay. I want to know what the fuck these people have said since August. So I'll write updates of any kind. Now, updates of any kind does not imply that for the next 20 years, you're going to continuously keep getting updates. Now, does that happen? Yes, it does. It does. Some of these people just send you shit. You didn't ask for it, but they just keep sending you stuff. It happens. But updates of any kind. So in this particular situation, I will be more specific. Updates of any kind should refer to records from, August 27th through whatever the fuck date. So if you want it to today, from August 27th, 2020 to April 7th, 2021. So now anything in that realm, that time frame, where they may have referred back to August, that's updates of any kind, and now you'll start getting those fucking documents or records. Okay. Some key verbiage that you want to write in there. I usually put this at the very top of my request. Sorry, my eye itches. So I write, I would like to file an open records request under Wisconsin law per FOIA, which stands for Freedom of Information Act. Okay, that tells them per Freedom of Information Act, I'm filing this fucking open records request. It's a stupid thing, but just fucking write it. Please provide the following records as soon as practicable and without delay per open records law. Okay, that's direct verbiage taken from FOIA. Do you need me to repeat that? Please provide the following records as soon as practicable and without delay per open records law. Okay, because a lot of times they want to sit there and they want to ignore you for 8 months, like Kenosha Police Department has done to me. And then you start pissing them off, and then they want to start calling you on the phone. The next sentence is, please confirm that you have received and are processing my request as soon as practicable and without delay per open records law. So they have to respond to you. It's mandatory. It's in FOIA. They have to. If you call, then they have to call you. If you email, then they have to email you. If you mailed your thing in, then they have to mail you back. So whatever form that you requested, okay, however you've requested it, whether verbal or some type of written, they have to respond in the same exact fashion. Now, sometimes you'll send the email, and if they, you have a relationship with the person, they'll call you on the phone, like fucking Nazli calls me like we're fucking homies. Right? And they'll call me on the phone and be like, hey, blah, 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 I have questions, need clarification. Now, they don't have to do that either. They don't have to clarify shit. Okay? Another very important sentence that you want to write, because records cost money. Okay? This is why we always ask you guys to donate money. Whatever you can donate. Every dollar fucking helps us get closer to providing truth. Okay? Please first confirm if my request were to exceed $10. So I'm on a motherfucking budget. I'm broke. I'm trying to keep roofs over my head. So, you know, generally $10, I can swing that. Whatever your budget is. Some people, like I've written records where it's just going to flag them where I've said, please confirm, you know, if my request were to exceed $1. And then they're going to fucking call you and they're going to tell you, hey, this is going to cost $100. This is going to cost $50, $10. This is going to cost $5,000, whatever it may be. Okay. So I put those sentences at the top. Then I get into the types of records. Then I get into the keywords. Then I get into the dates. Okay. You can put those sentences at the end. I don't give a fuck. Now, you guys, per Wisconsin law, you do not have to identify yourself. You do not have to tell them who you are. Okay? And they have no legal obligation to fucking demand who you are. Most times. Okay? For me, I don't give a fuck. I tell them my first and last name. I'm an investigative journalist, Never Stop Media. I provide my website and I provide a phone number because I'm a journalist. I don't care. They know who I am anyway. Okay? I do date my open records requests. Okay? So I don't generally fill out their stupid forms. I write out a thing and attach it to their stupid form if I drop it off. Okay? So this is, you know, I gave you all the types of verbiages. You apply them to the different types of records requests. Now, one thing I will tell you, I have filed this exact open records request with a barrage of fucking keywords, and Kenosha has denied me. They told me I needed permission from the district attorney's office. I don't, because I didn't serve the district attorney. I served Kenosha Police Department. So I said, okay, fuck you, and I rewrote it, swapped out some words, took words out, whatever, narrowed it down a bit, and I filed it again. They came back and told me it was overly burdensome. Well, which one is it? Do I need somebody's fucking permission? I gotta ask mommy and daddy if I can have this? Or is it fucking too much work for you? Okay? You're contradicting yourself, and that doesn't look good when we go to fucking court. Okay? Now, that same request I filed with the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. They immediately denied me because it was overly burdensome. Why is it overly burdensome? I'm asking you about a week. I'm filing open records requests with the same exact verbiage on fucking police departments asking for 5 years worth of records, 11 years worth of records, and 20 years worth of records. It's 3 different departments. And this has been approved. But Kenosha Police Department and Kenosha County Sheriff's Department will not approve this. So, you can file it with all the words, or you can file it separately. Okay? If you just want to file specifically asking about the 4th victim, just to shits and giggles, see what they say, file it with just the 4th victim, and, you know, use certain words. If you just want call sheets, okay, just ask for the fucking call sheets. That's what I've done. I've taken out all the video. I don't care about video footage in this open records request. I don't care about audio. I'm just specifically looking for call sheets pertaining to this date, this time, whatever. So I've dumbed it down even further. How much more dumbed down do I have to make this for these people? Okay? You hear in the phone conversation with Nazlik and I, where he just keeps telling me like I'm fucking incompetent, that if you're not having luck doing it the way you're doing it, try filing it a different way. Fuck you. I don't need to. But sure, let's play your silly kid game. So that's what I've started to do. And now I've asked for each type of record with certain words separately. And I'm refiling them. And guess what? They're fucking getting denied. So what the fuck is the point? Okay? Now, I filed the same exact thing with the plethora of keywords on the United States Marshal Service. And guess what? We were approved. So why are we approved with the United States Marshals for the same request, but we're not approved with Kenosha Police Department and we're not approved for Kenosha Sheriff's Department? It doesn't make fucking sense. So you guys file this open records request, okay? File it separately with, you just want video of a 4th victim, you just want paperwork, whatever the fuck, file it all together. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just flood them with open records requests. The problem is you're going to make my life fucking miserable because you're going to hold me up on open records requests, but I don't really give a fuck. When it comes to the fourth victim, let's get 100,000 people filing open records requests on a fourth victim. Okay? Let's do it. Fuck it. That's going to be our protest. You've now turned me into a fucking activist. You want to put out fucking press releases? Got you. Let's do it. Anybody have questions? I'm the wrong one, motherfucker. I just gave you guys a plethora of information of how to fuck up your government entities and get more transparency. If anybody wants to donate for that knowledge, every dollar helps. And I'd greatly appreciate it because I obviously have a massive battle ahead of me. All right. Put a couple links. You don't have to. It's greatly appreciated. It fucking helps me. Just be real. I'm very transparent with where money goes. I tell you guys all the time. If I needed to buy a piece of equipment, I buy the equipment and then I show you. If I needed to pay for fucking documents, I make sure to put out articles with documents fucking attached. I'll put it this way. Certain documents that we've received from different police departments have been free. Okay. Here's the beauty too. So let's pretend for a second that Kenosha gives me one document. Okay. And I had to pay $10 to get that document. When you come up behind me and file the open records request asking for that same document, it's now free for you because I've already covered the cost of them burdening themselves. God help it. Okay. So sometimes that shit is free. All right. So like in our YouTube channel where we put out videos of Kyle Rittenhouse at the bar, or we put out Sergeant Geisey with Mount Pleasant Police Department beating the fuck out of Michael Kowalczyk. We've paid for that. Okay. Generally speaking, that should be free. You still may have to pay a cost for like the disc or a thumb drive or something like that. Now I will say, we'll put this out there because I don't give a fuck. We're also about to get some very interesting stuff pertaining to Kenosha that has never been released before. And when we release it, Kenosha's going to lose their fucking mind. Okay. That I will tell you will cost a few $100s for us to pay for it. We had to raise money, to get special electronic shit. And then, we're getting these records, and it will cost a few $100s. Okay. Generally speaking, so for example, when I file open records requests on Mount Pleasant Police Department, Mount Pleasant always puts it on a disc, and every time I have to pay $10 for the disc. We've seen invoices that have been several $100s, and we have seen invoices that have been several $1,000s. So if you don't have a nice pocket, okay, getting week-long Kenosha unrest / riot might cost you several hundred to several thousand. You may want to just file one request at a time and test the waters. I have to do that from time to time because I don't have gobs of fucking money. Certain documents, this particular Marshall document, I didn't pay for this. The giant kind of fuck you request that we filed with the U.S. Marshals, Because mind you, now I file like multiple different things. I may file a request today, but you tell me something that I know would probably come from the marshals, and it's like, fuck, dude, I just filed this request yesterday. Now I have to send a second request. So I kind of have this holy shit request that is, I'm going to assume, going to be at least 500 plus, probably into the $1,500 range. But sometimes if it's just a simple document, they may just send it to you for free. These audio recordings of Nozelik where he's recording me. So it's not like I'm sneakily recording this guy. He's recording me. Okay. And so you hear like, are you recording? I'll give you time to record. Yeah, I'm already fucking recording because I know you're recording me. And because I found that out that they were recording me, I filed an open records request to get those 2 recordings. That's what I'm picking up. I've released our version, which unfortunately went in 2 parts because of how this fucking camera works. But the day before he recorded me, which I didn't find out until the day after. So I'm going to pick that recording up and I'll put it out there because I'm fucking fully transparent. That's the thing. These guys want to put rhetoric out that we're lying about stuff. I am 100% transparent about what it is I'm doing and why the fuck I'm doing it. So we're putting that out. And if I'm ever able to give, the other thing that I know too is, I filed open records requests on my name, Kevin Glowicki, and Never Stop Media, because I want to know what these motherfuckers are saying behind my back. Okay. I know that they're taking fucking screenshots of video, things and fucking passing it around to all the different detectives. For what? I'm not a fucking criminal. I'm not burning fucking cities down. Why is my screenshot going to fucking detectives? What kind of list do you have on me? What fucking agency have you sent me to that I'm on some fucking list now? And what fucking list? What's the title of that list? Am I a fucking terrorist? Fuck these people, bro. Yeah, if you want to just send me an email, if you guys don't have an email, or my email, sorry. Okay, that's my email. I'm probably going to ask you to describe the situation in kind of as much detail without boring me, in as much what you know about it. Okay, if it's fucking subject A is walking down the street, 2 police cars pull up, 4 neighbors come out, they're recording, blah, 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 whatever the fuck. I'm going to ask you as much detail as you may know so that we can figure out what types of records we want to ask for and then what keywords we need to put in that open records request. So sure, I don't mind helping you. No problem with that. I've offered that to protesters. If you want to try to file open records requests because you're trying to get some shit and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, I'm more than happy to help. Okay? And we'll figure out what is their legal reason to deny it, and then what is our legal reason to fight it. For me, I file open records requests and I just immediately say they're going to fucking deny this. I'm prepared to go to court. Or they're going to deny this and whatever. You know what I mean? See, and the thing is too, where for me, and I said this to an individual today, some individuals are focused on, they want the incident report. They think that seeing the police report is going to give them all the information that they need to know. I generally could fucking care less about this fucking police report. This is like least important on my list. I want the shit you don't want to give me. That's what I want. So that's why my records requests are more detailed. My records requests are harder to get. And sometimes I will end up having to go into a courtroom to get the types of records that I want. I will fight for this. And that's the thing that people need to understand about me. I don't need you to like the language that comes out of my mouth. I don't need you to like me in general. I didn't ask you to be my friend. I could care less. Okay? We're not going to hang out. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So we're not sharing fucking beers together. I asked you to fucking simply look at what we're putting out, okay? And understand that we are trying to provide the truth. That's what I've asked people to do. I'm very transparent. I'm an open book. I've told this story a million times on my platform, on other people's platforms that have interviewed me. We're doing other interviews because of this entire situation, that people that are actually interviewing us. So as long as that still continues to go through, you're going to see that shit. Same as I'm outspoken here, you'll see me outspoken on different platforms, whether it's somebody else's live stream, a podcast, I don't give a fuck. I will be outspoken there too. And the thing too that you guys have to realize, again, and I've said this earlier, is that there are dozens of stories that I'm sitting on that are not 100% complete. I am literally sitting on documents where you have no idea. Like, I'm like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, fuck, man. Fuck. Like, the public needs to know this. They have to fucking know this. But I don't have everything. I have a document, but you still need this other piece. There's stuff. It's just not 100% complete yet. Does that make sense? You guys have no idea the amount of fucking shit I'm sitting on. But that's what I'm saying. Kenosha's freaking out about these 2 articles. They didn't care so much about the one. Yeah, we'll just ignore this one. But now that we released a federal document, yeah, now they're freaking the fuck out. Wait until we release the next article. I did this on purpose. Release article 1, release article 2, which is kind of the, you get the first one and you're like, huh, yeah, that kind of makes you fucking think. Like, what the fuck? Why is this other police department talking about a 4th victim, but Kenosha keeps saying there isn't one? And then we release the federal document. And then you're going, that's the kind of, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, that's a follow-up to this other article, and these are the feds talking about this. But wait a minute, Kenosha's still fucking saying no. But now we have 2 government entities saying yes. Holy shit. When this other article comes out, you're going to go, what the fuck? Yeah, watch. That's the WTF moment. You're going to see. And watch the response that Kenosha gives when we launch that article. Oh, I'm waiting on 1 phone call. I don't need the phone call to do the article. I could already write it, and I could write it right now and publish it. I already have what I need. I'm waiting on 1 phone call. Because when I have the 1 phone call, that's the fuck you. Now I got you. They could skirt around if I publish without the phone call. They can skirt. Especially because people don't critically think, and they don't do they're not going to sit and listen to the scanner. They're not going to read the article in full. They're not going to fucking... I attach stuff on purpose in my articles because this is everything. I literally tell you guys, this is how I came to my conclusion. This is what we've done. Here's all of the evidence. It's right here in this 1 link. And you just have to read the article and click on some shit. You follow the storyline. If you're too lazy to follow the storyline, fuck off. Don't come to my platform. Just go on believing the bullshit that these people keep telling you. You know what I mean? So that's why I put all the links in there. And then I attach pictures of the documents. Does that make sense? You have it all right in front of you. But if you're too lazy to fucking look at it, then, I don't know what to tell you. Just, I don't know, be sheep, I guess. Just blindly think that everything's just on the up and up in your communities. So yeah, this next article, I don't really give a fuck if I have the, especially now, I've already been called a liar. I've been called a fucking conspiracist. Like, I'm not trying to solve the fucking JFK shooting. I'm not a fucking QAnon person. I'm not. But I'll publish without the phone call. I don't give a fuck. But if I have the phone call, they're fucked. They're fucked. Just what I have, they're fucked. Just what I have right now. So fuck you, Kenosha. Kenosha PD, not Kenosha the city. Although, fuck some residents for sure. But yes, just what I have right now, I could publish right now. And you'd see the backlash that KPD sends. but I'm waiting for the phone call. I was told 24 to 48 hours, and I'm hoping the phone call comes. That's your WTF moment. So let them put their rhetoric out. That's the thing you have to look at. They just said something. Hey, we're the police. This guy's lying. Don't believe him. That's not real journalism. And then you have me that said, hey, we have 2 police agencies that are saying this stuff happened, and here's also documentation that shows the 2 agencies saying that it happened. So why are we publishing actual evidence for you to look at? But Kenosha didn't give you evidence to look at. They just said, no, it didn't happen. Don't believe that. I don't trust anybody on their fucking word. That's why I don't just write articles and not post some type of, there's always evidence. If you guys actually pay attention to my platform, I always, 100%, there is always evidence. And it's because of this shit. You know, they want to silence me. They want to challenge my background. You got to think, right? Like, and I've said this, I don't have a very good background. My background is very colored. It's fucking horrible. I'm disgusted by it when I look at it on paper. I get it. The only thing I have left to rely on is my fucking integrity. Okay? I rely very fucking heavily on that. And I don't like people questioning whether or not I'm fucking telling the truth. So I back it up. Always. So again, Kenosha needs to fucking provide documents. Yeah, that's the thing. It's sweep it under the rug. You know, do I have a theory about why I think this is occurring? Yes, I do. You know, on a different scenario, I probably would have given you that theory, but based on their fucking press release thing about me and recording my conversations, I'm going to be careful, because then at this point, everything can be used against me in court. So I got to be very fucking mindful now. But yeah, here's one thing I will tell you. And I think this is important. And this is kind of like that, like, you know what, Kenosha, like, fuck you for what you just did tonight. Like, you're telling people to come attack me. And then I'm going to tell you guys this. I think we are appropriately focusing attention on Kenosha Police Department. I think the attention needs to be there. However, I think that we are focusing too much of our attention on the Kenosha Police Department and not enough attention on the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. Okay? So you guys take that how you need to take that, and apply those pressures where you feel you need to apply those pressures. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing, you know, is it an undercover cop? Is it a fucking family member of a cop? Is it, you know, I mean, it could be a number of things. We don't know that detail. That's still the open-ended question. And that's where they're going to get me. That's where they're going to put the doubt, right? If we're in a courtroom in a jury trial, they do have, you know, doubt. They're already casting doubt. But their doubt is based on what they say. We have the documents. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's pretend it's like a cop family member. We have off-the-record conversations all the time. I've already proven to KPD that I can have an off-the-record conversation and it doesn't get repeated. I can get put in front of a judge, and the judge, you know, there becomes this argument, and then potentially a judge enters an order that I have to reveal the source. I'll tell you guys all right now, and I've said this before, if somebody gives me information, and I don't care what side it's on, I have the right, the militia. I've talked to militia. I tell you guys all the time, I've never talked to militia people, and I want to interview them all the time. I've talked to people off the record, but I have to tell you I've never talked to them because I don't have anything on the record that I can repeat to you. Okay? So, sorry, my eyeball fucking is itchy. If you give me information and you say, bro, you cannot use my name, or you can't repeat where you got this from, I'll go to jail over that. And that's what helps protect that integrity of a journalism, of a journalist. And any journalist of any media outlet, okay, if they're a real journalist and they value what they're doing, what their job is, what they're writing, that's like the biggest fucking thing for us, is to make sure that that integrity and that credibility is fucking intact 100% of the fucking time. And with the shit that Kenosha is doing right now, with this press release and this attacking me and, you know, recording me and making sure like, oh, there's just confusion, there's chaos happening, you're putting out conjecture, like, no. That's meant to discredit and cast doubt on anything that I say. But again, we're the ones holding the federal documents. You even hear in the fucking thing where he's like, oh, I've never even seen this document. Okay, bullshit. You've definitely fucking seen it. And maybe he hasn't. Maybe he himself has not seen it. Okay? But there's people in KPD that have. Like, I'll tell you right now, the forged, like, the fraudulent document that I have, okay? It's a fraudulent document. Okay? They falsified this document. All right? Do I wholeheartedly believe that the public information officer did not do that? Yes, I believe that he's not the one that did that. Some fuck inside of KPD did. There's a reason they did it. It's a falsified document. 100%. 100%. It's verified. That's fact. So fuck KPD. Fuck you. You're sending people falsified fucking documents. And you got people's lives. You got people's motherfucking lives at risk right now. People that are facing serious motherfucking jail or prison time over a falsified fucking document. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. That's a problem. Fuck them. So no, we're gonna keep exposing. We're gonna keep attacking. Okay, and that's it. We just want the truth. That's all it is. We want the truth. Just prove me wrong. Prove Waukesha Police Department wrong. Prove the United States Marshals Service wrong. That they lied. That they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. If these people don't know what they're talking about, then we need to start questioning the United States Marshals then. It's a federal agency. That's a big problem. If they don't know what they're doing and they're writing weird fucking reports, then we'll shift our focus onto the U.S. Marshals and be like, how come you guys are too incompetent to write fucking accurate reports? What's going on here? Fuck. What else? Any other questions? Let's see what time it is. We still have a little bit longer on the live if you guys want to hang out. If you have questions, feel free to ask. You want to, you know, I don't really care. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, we're fighting. We're fighting to get the stuff. You know what I mean? I would say the marshal knows exactly what is up. I would say the same thing, Jeff. 100%. 100%. You know, it's like when we sit here and, you know, talk to, like if I'm just having a conversation with other journalists where we might meet up or we're kind of having a conference call or whatever. And there's a couple of them that I trust that, like, when I call, you know, they're not going to repeat what I say. But yeah, and we looked at this before I released the article today, and it was like, okay, do we believe the local law enforcement or do we believe federal agents, right? Like, who holds the more, like, weight? Who's more believable? You know what I mean? I could have released the one single article and wrote about in one article and linked the Waukesha document and linked the Fed document. But I separated it for two reasons. One, because I want continued attention on this Nobody's listened to me when I've highlighted it in the, again, it's in the fucking scanner. You can hear them say it. They said it. I didn't say it first. They did. And then we had documents to back up what they said on their own fucking scanner. Remember that fact. They said it. Fuck them. Okay? But I separated it into two articles because of the other sentences that pertain to Rittenhouse, where, you know, it's saying that KPD is nervous, especially when the identity in connection to law enforcement of the shooter is reported on. Like, we want to know what the fuck that means. You know what I mean? There's a whole sentence at the end of one of these paragraphs that's redacted. The whole sentence is. So we don't even have a single word. We don't even know what that sentence is. And then we have the other thing where it says, if the shooting event itself was not bad enough, we learned after the fact that the shooter is a 17-year-old kid who is an active, and then it's fucking redacted. We don't know what that says. He's an active what? What the fuck is he active? He's an active terrorist cell member? He's an active militia member? He's an active little junior fucking law enforcement member? He's a junior, what? What is he? He's an active what? But you can't get that shit unredacted. That's another thing, like, you have to go to court. You gotta sue to get fucking unredacted documents. This, if I had, I'll be honest, if I had one other document along these lines that's talking about he's an active blank, 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 and it's talking about, like, the identity of this relationship with law enforcement, blank, 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 you fucking better believe I'll sue again. I'll sue the United States Marshals to get an unredacted copy of their document. 100%. You guys can do the same thing. I'd fucking 100% sue for that, to figure out what the fuck is this. You know, and here's a big thing. I'm going to tell you guys this. Okay? Just for transparency purposes. And I've said this publicly already, so it's not like I'm breaking some fucking news here. Okay? When we released the video footage from Kyle Rittenhouse in Pudgy's pub, there's one camera angle that we didn't release. And I told you guys, and this was on the YouTube channel because I wasn't streaming on Facebook, but I told you guys that we were not releasing that because it's a fucking safety issue. Okay? If there's something that has to do with bodily harm or death, I will not release it. I don't give a fuck what the document says. I don't care. I will not release it. 100%. I won't. Even if me redacting information could still potentially lead you guys to figure something out, I won't release it because it leads to a physical harm to a human being. I won't release it. So we said that. Here's 4 camera angles. The 5th one we're not going to release. You're not getting that from us. I'm sorry, but no. I'm not going to be the one responsible. You have to think that there's liability on me. Right? That's why, like, with their claim that we're taking this, you know, in conjecture and we're speculating and I'm fucking blatantly lying, I'm not that dumb to not think that I potentially could get sued over this, right? The last thing I want to do is get sued myself. I don't have a fucking pot to piss in, right? I know the ramifications and I have to weigh those outcomes. So there's certain things I will go to court on. When it comes to stuff like this, let's go to courtrooms. 100%. Because then you have to start actually producing unredacted documents in front of a judge. Let's go to court. You want to sue me? Let's go to court. Because you have to prove that what I said was lying. And the only way you can prove that what I said was lying is by giving them documents that are unredacted. You know what I mean? And the judge gets to see that. And then so do I. Let's go to court. Put me in a courtroom. I'm fine with it. There's other things, and I was telling an individual today, there's other things where there's certain stories based off a document or a video or combination of different things where, do I believe that you guys have a 100% right to know this information? Yes. Do I believe that I need to release this to you? Yes. Do I believe that this will cause some type of public outcry? Yes. And then do I believe that I will end up getting sued where these different entities try to basically shut you the fuck up so you stop talking, so I'll get sued and then like have like weird like gag orders, you can't talk about shit, you can't reveal documents, you know, all this type of stuff, whatever. Yes, there are stories and there are records that I'm sitting on currently that those things, right, those parameters are met and I will 100% get sued. Now in those situations, I weigh it where it's like, do I want to be arrogant and be like, yeah, let's go to court, motherfucker, because you have to fucking bring the documents with you? Or is this something where it's like, ultimately I know I'll win in court, but I don't have the fucking money to fight this uphill battle and I'm not doing it. So until I'm able to, we got to just pause that fucking scenario. This right here, yeah, this is something that let's go. Let's go to court. I'm broke already. I live 24 hours at a time. I never know if I'm going to have a fucking roof over my head. Let's go to fucking court. I've already lost everything. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. You want the shit sitting inside of my storage unit? Go ahead. Take all of my stuff. You don't get my son's shit. Take it. That's what I own. In this fucking boxes of shit. All right? Let's go to court. I don't own anything. What Kenosha did today is irresponsible and it was very malicious. And it puts a target on my back and it jeopardizes my fucking safety and well-being. They have 310 fucking police officers. They got a whole giant fucking fuck you force. I don't have that. All they have to do is ignore me. If I'm not relevant, you know what I mean? I'm not relevant to nobody. Nobody listens to me. You just ignore me. That's the easiest way to shut somebody up. You just ignore them. But they responded. This is not typical for them to put out a media release like that on an independent journalist. It is not a normal thing to happen. Nor is it normal for them to be calling consistently the way that they are and recording conversations. This is not normal stuff. Where can you find the press release? It's on the fucking, it's on Facebook. it's on fucking Facebook. It's on the fucking Kenosha Police Department, fucking Facebook page. You haven't read it? I'm going to read it to you. Somebody sent it to me. It says, independent investigative journalism has become a mainstream reality for the city of Kenosha Police Department. This type of journalism is no less important than the larger corporate media outlets, whether they are at a local or national level. I already know he's full of shit. They don't give a fuck. That's why they're arresting and harassing fucking independent journalists. They don't fucking care. They don't value us. They don't look at us like we're real fucking journalists. They don't even understand the difference between an independent journalist and then institutional journalism. So anyway, it goes on to say, the Kenosha Police Department encourages and supports fact-based journalism and news reporting. However, we cannot sit idly by and allow articles to be written that clearly appear to be intended to fan the flames of conspiracy and cover-up. We cannot sit idly by and allow. Who the fuck are you to allow? You don't have that fucking authority. You're a fucking police department. The police department doesn't even have the authority to tell any one of us, you included, whether or not you're a journalist. The minute you pick up your cell phone and start recording, the minute you pick up a pen and a paper and you start writing about something, the minute you blog on fucking a website, the minute you whatever the fuck, you are acting in the people's eye as a journalist. That is protected under the First Amendment. They do not get to decide who is a real journalist and who isn't. They do not get to decide these things. So fuck them with their "we cannot sit idly by." Recently, an independent journalism company called Never.Stop Media, thanks for the plug, began reporting that on the night of August 25th, 2020, there was a fourth shooting victim. Mind you, we have two documents, one from Waukesha Police Department and one from the United States Marshals Service. The article is titled, "KPD Conceals Fourth Shooting Victim." We released that phone conversation. They didn't like the fact that I said concealed. It's a little clickbaity, for sure. Today, and here's the thing. Let me just stop right there. If you actually look at the link for the new article that we released today, the link of the new article says cover up or conspiracy. I changed it at the last minute, but it doesn't change the link, but it changed the title of the article. Yeah. I did that for them. Fuck them. Bunch of cunts. Today, an update to the article was published. Both of these articles are based on the author's flawed conclusions. Your audio scanner said fourth victim. It was confirmed by an individual inside of the Kenosha Police Department. We have a Waukesha Police Department document, and then we have a fucking United States Marshals document. But these are my flawed conclusions. After reviewing documents obtained in public records requests from various different agencies that provided assistance to the city of Kenosha during the late summer of 2020. This reads like such a fucking great novel. Additionally, the author makes conclusions based off recorded police radio traffic. Well, thanks for not calling me a fucking liar. From the night of August 25th, 2020. If you hear the actual police on their radio say something and you continue to listen, they said it. Huh. These conclusions are based on snippets of information. Yes! We took a conclusion from a snippet of an audio where they said, we have a fourth victim that showed up. And we went, holy fuck. But, holy fuck, that's only a snippet. We need to wait until we have more snippets. That have led the author to incorrectly report. What did I incorrectly report? I cited the fucking document that I have. So fuck you, KPD. I cited the document. I cited the document. So did I miscite the verbiage in the document? You can blow up the document in the fucking thing. Just zoom in. I cited the document. What the fuck did I incorrect as fact? Well, yes, what I cited in here was factually cited. Get the fuck out of here. Something that is not. The Kenosha Police Department's Public Information Officer, Joseph Nozlik, has reached out to this is not proper. Has reached out to Never.Stop Media to inform them of the incorrect reporting. However, the company chooses to disregard fact-based explanation and continues to report inaccurate information. Where's the fact? Provide me the fact. Because I'm looking at fact, which I cited. They make it seem like they've given me all this stuff, that Kenosha PD has given me a bunch of shit, and I said, no. I'm not looking at that. I'm going to only go with this. No, you just said you had some shit come out of your mouth. I don't believe shit comes out of your mouth without backing it up. Then he makes me sound like an asshole. The tragic incident When the fuck do you think it's been tragic? Because I've not heard them talk about how it's tragic. Should we fucking... Let's do this. We're going to pause. We're going to pause. And let's go to the article I wrote about Chief Miskinnis's retiring. Which, mind you, we were the first media company that reported on that. Mainstream media didn't even have that. So, eat a fucking dick. Remember the person that fired the gunshot behind Rittenhouse? The very first fuck that fired a gun that led to the next 10 minutes of chaos? Yeah, we reported on that. And then 2 weeks later, mainstream media was like, oh my God, somebody fired a gun behind Rittenhouse and then he bonded out for $1,000. I was there at the courthouse while they were doing their reporting, and I was like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, yeah, this guy fired a gun behind Kyle Rittenhouse and he got locked up and then he just bonded out today. And I'm like, are you talking about Joshua Zeminski? And they're like, yeah, it's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, you're fucking funny. I reported this 2 fucking weeks ago. You're late to the party, dick face. Fuck. But, you know, whatever. Let's look at some shit. Let's look at how sensitive Kenosha is. Okay? These are direct quotes from Chief Miskinnis. Okay? Chief Miskinnis, we have armed individuals out protesting or counter-protesting or simply walking around exercising their right who will put their hands up. It's no longer abnormal, so there was nothing to suggest this individual was involved in any criminal behavior. This is talking specifically about when Kyle Rittenhouse is walking towards law enforcement after he's just murked people, and this is normal. Hey, Kenosha, we don't believe your shit because you were a couple 100 feet away and you watched that individual shoot Anthony Huber and Gage Grosskreutz. You can't say it's horse piss to fucking say, yeah, some random white dude was just walking around. Hands up, don't shoot. Shut the fuck up with this ignorant fucking shit. Fuck these people, bro. Then you got Schroeder. You can't say the word victim in the fucking courthouse. And I get that part. Sure, I get it. Okay? There's some other fucking shit. I can't see my fucking... Whatever. It's called Kenosha Chief of Police Miskinnis set to retire. Okay? Yeah, I'll just link it for you guys. I can't read right now. The fucking contacts are dry as fuck. But there's quotes from Chief Miskinnis where they're not being fucking sensitive to protesters. But now all of a sudden it's a tragic incident. Get the fuck out of here. The tragic incident involved 3 people being shot and has been widely reported on. Articles. See, but they're not pissing and moaning about the widely reported on rhetoric. There's a lot of false shit that's going around. There's a lot. Like, I yell at protesters. I'm like, nah, that's not actually true. Like, we showed documentation. We fucking released a video, or ABC released a fucking document, or whatever the fuck. You're wrong. Why is Kenosha not fact-checking all of the other rhetoric that's going around, but they want to fucking highlight me? Right? Articles such as this are conducive to public mistrust. No. You don't get to fucking shift the blame on the public mistrust. You're the ignorant fucks that let 150 militia people just walk past you and magically disappear like they're fucking aliens at fucking Roswell. Okay? You're the dumb fucks that are caught on video talking about, do you need some fucking water? All right? And then loudmouth fucking militia people being like, yeah, law enforcement said they were going to push the protesters and let us deal with them. You're the dumb fucks that got caught doing that. Here's the problem. They didn't expect the scanner to get released, because if we're going to be on some bullshit and we're just not going to release anything, nobody's going to find out. But guess what? Now we have the scanner audio, which is opening up a million questions, which is why high-profile lawyers are asking, which is why ACLU is fucking asking, okay? They don't expect U.S. Marshal documents to fucking come out. These documents and these fucking recordings are starting to come out, and they're going, holy fuck, and they're doing damage control. I get it. They're doing damage control. Let them do damage control. Okay? So then it says, articles such as this are conducive to public mistrust and are seemingly focused on one thing, a roadblock to the opportunity of improving police and community relationship. How? What fucking roadblock did I put up? Because Chief Miskinnis has made it clear that he has no intentions of fucking building any type of community fucking anything. Okay? Mayor Antaramian has made it real motherfucking clear that he is not interested. So what motherfucking officials out there are fucking trying to build this community fucking rapport? No. You're just not talking. That doesn't build rapport. Your black and brown communities in fucking Kenosha do not have a fucking rapport with you. You're not doing shit to build anything. You're not doing shit to fucking help them. Okay? And you're definitely not doing shit to make them fucking trust you. So, but I'm the roadblock to that? You don't get to shift the blame on me. I'm sorry. The Kenosha Police Department is committed to working with the community it serves and will continue to do so. Shut the fuck up. Kenosha Police Department is confirming that the information being reported by the independent journalist regarding the above-mentioned article is factually inaccurate and suggestive. Okay. Again, send us the fucking proof. Well, you're obviously not reading the fucking documents. See, here's the thing. So, to address Smokey, this document has never publicly been released. You guys have taken fucking 8 months worth of fuck you videos, and this has become your reality. And you all think you know all the fucking answers. I just provided you with a document that that's a wrong fucking word, that states something else. Another piece of that puzzle. And then I provided you with another document that says the same thing. This has never been released. So the problem is that you're taking the information over 8 months, and then I release to you something you've never seen before, and it's, nah, you're wrong. And then the other thing is that you're like, well, we want a body. No shit. I want a fucking body too. Why didn't they come forward and sue like all these other fucking BLM thugs? Yeah, I don't fucking know. According to the United States Marshals, they didn't come forward and sue because the motherfucker is dead. That's why. Does that answer your question? The United States Marshals said the victim is dead. That's why they're not coming forward to file lawsuits. Make sense? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just on a rant. I'm just on a rant, Smokey. I'm just saying. So that's the thing, right? Now, the Kenosha County Medical Examiner's Office reports that there are 4 gun-related homicides in the month of August. We obviously know 2 of them. That's going to be Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber. Okay. We know that one of those 4 gun-related homicides is 100% not related to this day. Right? You could agree that that would be factual. 2 of the people, for sure, are people that Rosenbaum shot, or that Rittenhouse shot and killed. Anthony Huber, Joseph Rosenbaum. 1 other individual in that 4 is totally unfucking related. Probably a factual thing. So we have random gunshot victim from the medical examiner's office that we don't know. But according to the United States Marshals, there is another dead body. That's the question. Why are 2 different government entities giving... I don't know how many times I have to say this. Why are 2 different government entities giving out fucking documents talking specifically about a 4th victim? But Kenosha just wants to be like, nah, that didn't happen. But they don't want to provide us any type of documentation regarding a 4th victim, whether there is or there isn't. They just want to be like, nah, didn't happen. Okay. You're not going to provide proof other than, nah, didn't happen. we're going to go with the feds. Sorry. And you hear me in the phone recordings with this person is that, you know, I have basically begged and pleaded, then give us the documents. According to the federal agent document, it's another person shot by Kyle Rittenhouse, according to the document. Have you? Let me ask you guys this: for the people that are watching, okay? You read the article, right? And then we obviously quote directly from the document. Did you guys kind of zoom in and read the actual document for yourselves, or did you not do that? If you've not done that, we'll sit here and we'll read the document. Jeff hasn't read the document. Okay. You gotta remember, if you know, when you guys are watching the live streams and all the other shit, okay, you guys hear all these different gunshots everywhere. Okay? Kevin Glowicki with Never Stop Media has never said that Kyle Rittenhouse shot a fourth person. I've never said that. What I said is that the United States Marshals said Kyle Rittenhouse shot a fourth person. This is the document. This is at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay? All the protesters left at like 1 o'clock because there's gunshots everywhere and everyone freaked the fuck out. The streets were cleared. If you remember that night, me, Andrew, and CJ, along with one random fucking protester, were stuck on Sheridan Road because these fucks wouldn't let us move anywhere, right? They wouldn't let us go anywhere. We couldn't go straight, we couldn't go back, we couldn't go left, we couldn't go right. If you remember watching CJ's live, right? CJ challenged them because they got on the fucking loudspeakers telling us to fuck off, basically. And you hear CJ yelling, "We're journalists." And they're like, "We don't give a fuck." And then you hear Andrew say, "Now's not the time to challenge this shit." Okay? And then if you remember that night too, random protester says, "Fuck you." And then all three of us turned, me, Andrew, and CJ, and went, "Whoa, bro, no, we're not about that. You can't be walking fucking next to it if you're going to be all fuck the police." Because that's the type of shit that gets us fucked up, right? You say fuck the police when you're in a large crowd, not when you're just standing next to us, right? We couldn't go anywhere. We were stuck on that street till like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, right? You guys remember that? Who remembers that? Okay? So at 4 o'clock in the morning, while we're standing on Sheridan Road, like, fuck, dude, we are so tired. We just want to fucking go home, okay? The United States Marshals are writing this document. This is what it says. Yesterday evening into this morning, 8:25, 8:26, okay, August 25th, August 26th. The district comprising of myself, comma, DUSMS. I don't know what that means. And then there's redacted section. Okay, this right here, redacted section. I don't know what the fuck it says. Okay, DUSMS, redacted, who the fuck knows. TFOs supported by DUSMS. So Department of United States Marshal Service. Maybe the D stands for department. I don't know. I got to ask my journalist friend. And then it says redacted. Right? Maybe it's division. I don't know. Division or department. Okay. TFOs supported by DUSMS. And then it's another redacted fucking thing. From GLRFTF Chicago. I don't know what the fuck means. I don't know. I got to ask. Okay, that's why I didn't write on it. I don't know what the fuck it means yet. Responded to the civil unrest that has continued in Kenosha. Okay, I don't know all the police lingo. Okay, don't judge me. It was widely hoped that tonight would be when things would begin to slow down and return to normal. Because now, mind you, they just dealt with 2 nights of burn the fucking city. That was not the case. Intel provided during our briefing. Now, remember Naslik in the phone conversation said, no, we don't have briefings. You're totally misrepresenting and have this misunderstanding about how police officers work. Fuck you, bro. You guys debrief each other. And the document clearly says that too, twice. Intel provided during our briefing showed that there was continued planning and support of unrest by outside influencers. This is another thing, is this is really highlighting that there were a lot of fucking people from out of town that were coming to Kenosha, okay? This was realized when our teams observed and surveilled multiple groups of outside influencers in large packs of cars entering Kenosha from the north and south of the city. Now, here's the thing, I'll tell you guys that we have a document from Mount Pleasant, okay? It's an internal email where they Mount Pleasant notifies Kenosha that there's a large caravan of vehicles specifically with North Carolina license plates. Okay, I haven't released that document yet. Filed more open records requests. I'm trying to get more clarification. Okay, not a press briefing. This is like their private like cop fucking let's meet in a fucking sneaky room and talk about some shit. The night developed very fast, much faster than yesterday evening. Prior to tonight's events, the city of Kenosha erected fencing around the courthouse complex. This fencing seemed to be a focal point by the agitators, who immediately began attacking the fencing. The protests quickly devolved into a riot situation, and it continued until just recently. Things have calmed down now, and we are preparing to depart the rally point for home. Some of the events that occurred tonight included: our task force responded to multiple officer assist calls, including 2 where officers indicated they were trapped, surrounded, in danger of being overrun. Now, I've heard that there were 2 officers that got separated from the groups and they were surrounded by people that were trying to fucking harm them. Okay? I've heard that. I have filed an open records request specifically on this incident because I want to see what the fuck happened and I don't know. Are we trying to kill the 2 cops? Are we trying to beat the shit out of them? So we're trying to intimidate and scare. Well, what the fuck are we doing to these 2 cops that got separated? Okay, they again denied request. In the first instance, Kenosha PD had contacted a citizen carrying a rifle. Kenosha PD was attempting an arrest, and a crowd began to form and approach the officers. Our team responded to their calls for assistance and established a perimeter and assisted with the arrest of the target. While protecting the arresting officers, our teams began to take rocks and bricks. A brick did strike a GOV and caused a dent and scratches to the hood. The same brick ricocheted off the hood and struck a DUSM. No injuries were sustained. Our teams attempted to take those rioters into custody, however they fled, and due to the growing crowd, we retreated and exfilled from the area. In the second instance, the task force was dispatched to assist Kenosha PD units at a city building that was actively being broken into. Upon our arrival, we located the Kenosha officers calling for assistance and moved in to support them. As we were doing this, a large crowd of people were simultaneously leaving the city center area, which has experienced the heaviest of the protests and riots. The group converged on the Kenosha officers and our task force members. We maintained our perimeter and received assistance from a MIRT team who dispersed the crowd with chemical munitions. The task force gathered the Kenosha officers into our team of vehicles and exfilled the area. Our task force also responded to calls of looting/burglary of a bank and businesses. Our task force also responded to several structure fires started by rioters and detained persons believed to be involved in starting the fires. Through investigation, it was determined they were not involved and the detained persons were released. Now I want to highlight this sentence right here, okay? Lieutenant Nozilik will have you believe that there is so much confusion that none of these officers, none of these agents, none of these government officials really have any idea what the fuck is really happening, okay? But if you listen to what I just read, they're actively conducting investigations when they're detaining people to decipher whether or not this individual or group of individuals was on some serious fuckery or if they were not, okay? And this says, through investigation, it was determined they were not involved. So it's not, yes, there's chaos. There's Pandora's box that just fucking opened, right? But they're also conducting investigations. Same as when I was stopped multiple times. They're running my fucking driver's license. They're doing all this shit, okay? Our task force also responded to multiple instances of shots fired. One of these events was a series of shots fired calls and responses in quick succession. The first event of the series of events was dispatched as a running gun battle between protesters/rioters and counter-protesters with multiple persons shot. Our task force responded in force and began to assist in locking down an area and home that witnesses stated the shooter ran into. So this is where Joseph Rosenbaum was shot. And if you guys, again, watched mine or CJ's or Andrew's live feed that night, right, on 63rd and Sheridan, there was a heavy police presence, and you saw an MRAT that, like, fucking drove into the house, basically, right? And then the cops were fucking shooting people with green paintballs, lighting up the person and the cars, which was, we found out, was a way for them to target so that if any other law enforcement saw a green paintball on somebody or a vehicle, then they knew that pull these motherfuckers over and arrest them immediately. So this part is all captured on video from all of us. Sorry, my eyeball itches. Okay? While assessing the scene, an officer downed shooting was dispatched along with an active shooter at a hospital a few blocks from the first scene. So they're actually talking about across the street. They're getting reports that there's an active shooter situation inside of the hospital. This is about to get corrected. With multiple agency responses to the first dispatch shooting scene, the task force immediately broke away and responded to that second situation to deal with the active shooter and conduct an officer rescue. Again, this is all captured in all of our live feeds, okay? There's like a blacked out fucking pickup truck that comes flying, almost hit several of us, okay? Upon arrival at the scene, it was learned that so in the audio recording from Kenosha Police Department, you will hear in the audio recording, okay, that there's an officer down. That was corrected. So again, Nozilik is going to tell you that there's so much misinformation that's being put. Was that misinformation? Yes, it was, 100%. However, you do also hear them clearing up the misinformation because all it's doing is causing other officers confusion. So they're clearing it up. All of them are clearing up the bullshit that's being reported. So again, fuck what this cop is fucking saying. All right, he's trying to make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about, that all these reports are fucked up, okay? Same as we heard in the audio, they cleared up misinformation. Same as we're reading in documents, they're clearing up misinformation, okay? Learned that there was not an officer down nor an active shooter at the hospital. Shooting victims from the first shooting described above were self-transported by associates to the hospital. Okay, this is where everybody grabbed Joseph Rosenbaum and fucking carried him across the street. And the hospital called 911, reporting armed people in the emergency room. So because there were people that had guns, that's why they reported there was an active shooting inside of the hospital. Now, I know the identities of the individuals that were armed inside of the fucking hospital, okay? It doesn't matter who the fuck they are. I don't know yet how this became a dispatch call of an officer down an active shooter. I know the answer to that. But that is the call we were responding to at the time. Upon learning this updated information, we returned to the original scene and along with support from the FBI tactical team and Kenosha PD, took over control of the purported house that the shooter ran into. Utilizing multiple pieces of armor, we, along with the FBI, established and maintained a hard perimeter of the home and began to digest the situation and active events while attempting contact at the residence. So again, we are all live streaming this, and this is also where, if you remember, we all live stream Ryan Balch, given his bullshit fucking rhetoric, and then we all, this is caught on live stream, watch the fucking video of the shooting. We knew before the cops fucking knew. Through continued work between our teams and the Kenosha Police Department, we were able to confirm the identity of the shooter. You can hear this on the radio traffic that we released. And confirmed the shooter was not in the home because he's walking down the fucking street. And had fled the area/home prior to the arrival of the first units. We learned that the shooter himself had fled Kenosha and was actively attempting to surrender to another law enforcement agency just across the border in Illinois. So these guys are writing this document at 3:54 in the morning. They're already made aware sometime prior to this that Kyle Rittenhouse is currently in fucking Antioch, Illinois. Okay? You still want to tell me that these officers, these federal agents, are so fucking confused about what happened? Get the fuck out of here. This series of shooting event responses by our task force took up a substantial amount of time this evening. If the shooting event itself was not bad enough, we learned after the fact that the shooter is a 17-year-old kid who is an active, and then it's redacted. So we don't know what he's an active what of. 4 people were shot by him, 3 of which are deceased as of this report. At 3:54 in the morning, federal agents are saying 4 people were shot, 3 of them are deceased. I don't know the status of the 4th victim, and this is where people are confusing, and it specifically says in our article, okay? So I'm going to read the sentence and I'm going to explain this. I don't know the status of the 4th victim. However, I have been told he is stable and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. So what victim do we know that was shot that is fucking stable and non-life-threatening injuries? Gage Grosskreutz, correct? So that's who they're saying is the 4th victim, is Gage, okay? We know that Gage is not the 4th fucking victim. Does that make sense? This could not be a worse situation for what we are currently in. There is video of the shooter shooting the first victim and fleeing. He is then pursued by a crowd and tackled. He then shoots the additional 3 victims and then indiscriminately shoots at other onlookers. The videos are posted and obviously going viral on social media. So at 3:54 in the morning, federal agents are aware that these videos are going everywhere all over social media, and they're watching the fucking videos. Now, at this point, there's an entire sentence that's fucking redacted from this document. I have no idea what it says. There's not a single word that is open for us to read. So I don't know. It's obviously a very important fucking sentence that they don't want us to know. Our teams have been released and are on their way home as I write this email. Based on everything I have noted above, the police department believes things will get progressively worse, especially when the identity and connection to law enforcement of the shooter is reported on. We have questions about that too. That's a serious fucking sentence. when the identity and connection to law enforcement of the shooter is reported on? Is it just simply that he was the cadet person, or is there something bigger to this? Okay, we highlighted it, but we didn't fucking, it's just a what the fuck sentence. As such, they have asked for continued support from our task force. Other than pieces of armor assisting with crowd control and static posts, we are the only teams running QRF in support of their patrol officers. I can only pass on that they are extremely appreciative and grateful for the assistance we have been providing. Based upon the scenario in front of us, I don't see how we can discontinue support at this time. At this time, I am putting our task force on notice for a 5 p.m. meet and brief. So another time that they're fucking talking about briefings at the CP, which is Civic Park, area this afternoon as we did yesterday. Please give me a call in the morning if you would like to discuss further. I will be setting an alarm for noon, but I understand if you need to talk to me earlier than that. Then there's a redacted thing, and it says it's redacted. Are able to assist again, it would be a great help. So we don't know who the fuck they're saying is able to also assist. Their ability as medics was relied tonight as we thought we were responding to an officer down and active shooter. Thank you. And then redacted. It looks like maybe the name is fucking redacted. And then it says United States Marshal Service, Milwaukee, and then there's a cell, but then the cell is redacted. Okay. Now, this was sent to a United States Marshal named Thomas Conlon. Who this document is from is redacted. Yep, Jan, look, so obviously I'm not looking at your comments because I'm reading a fucking 2-page document. So, yes, Jan Lakota was with us. He was also there. CJ did tie a tourniquet. That was on Gage. Yeah, so I mean, that could. I don't want to speculate because of this fucking KPD press fucking media release thing. So yes, are there open-ended questions in here? Yes. Are there fucking certain things that were kind of like, oof, what the fuck is that? Yeah, 100%. That's why, we wrote on it in the article, but the article wasn't specific only to let's write about fucking Kyle Rittenhouse's ties to fucking law enforcement. There's not enough information there. So we're fucking... But this is also why we didn't just write one article with the Marshall's document and the Waukesha document, because this also highlights other fucking elements that are key pieces that people need to know. So again, Kenosha Police Department is going to have you think that I just wrote some random article with a bunch of fucking bullshit rhetoric. We wrote an article that cited a United States Marshal's document. That's what we did. We wrote an article that cited the United States Marshal's document and then linked a bunch of links. Okay? So in the article that went out today that made them lose their fucking minds, we linked the Kenosha Police Department scanner audio We told you to start that audio at 4 hours and 40 minutes into the video on YouTube, okay? Because that's where they start talking about the shooting, okay? At the 5 hour and 6 minute mark in that fucking audio is when they mention the fourth victim. They fucking said it. I didn't fucking come out with this random ass shit. I'm reporting what they fucking said, but I'm a fucking piece of shit, okay? Then we said that we wrote a previous article where the Waukesha Police Department confirmed that there was a fourth victim, and we put the link to that article. Okay? Both documents are dated from August 26, 2020, hours after all of the chaos fucking stopped. So again, these people are not just sitting in the middle of Pandora's box going, you know what, all this shit's going on, but I gotta write this fucking report. I can't participate in the crazy. That's not what happened. They wrote all the shit after the crazy, after they're debriefed and briefing and having sneaky meetings. Okay. Then we talked about the phone recorded conversation between me and Officer Lieutenant Noslik. And then unfortunately it's a 2-part fucking video. It's not my fault. And then we linked part 1 and part 2 so you guys can listen to that. Okay. You can hear the whole fucking conversation. I'm not hiding shit. Okay. And then we went on to talk about this fucking document. All right. And we cited the fucking document. I mean, what the fuck? And then we go on because this guy made reference to Kyle Rittenhouse is in fucking Illinois. We linked part 1, an interview, excuse me, an interview in Antioch, part 1. It's a 4-part fucking video. And then we linked Dominic Black's interview, which not a lot of you have actually watched, and you fucking need to, because that's legitimately important ass shit. The fucking like internal documents were released with Dominic Black. So everyone's fucking like, here's the thing. Everyone's trying to say that, oh, how come Kyle Rittenhouse isn't being charged with transporting guns across state lines? Because he never transported a gun across fucking state lines. It never happened. So that's how come Kenosha Police Department is not screaming and freaking the fuck out and putting press releases out about Kyle Rittenhouse fucking never crossed state lines with a fucking gun. But you're going to put a press release out that I fucking cited a United States Marshal's fucking document. Okay? This interview with Dominic Black talks about a lot of fucking important shit that people need to listen to, because that clears up some of the rhetoric that's going around. This is important. Okay? And then we highlighted the fourth victim shit, and then we highlighted the WTF, what is the fucking, identity and connection. If they just said, especially when the connection to law enforcement of the shooter is reported on, that would lead me to believe, okay, sure, because of his cadet program type thing, whatever. But when it says when the identity, what the fuck does that mean? Kenosha Police Department won't answer any of this. They're going to pretend they don't know. I don't know what that means. And you hear Noslik say that. I don't know what that means. Fuck you. Yes, you do. Bullshit. You know exactly what the fuck that means. Okay? And then fucking and then before I released this article, I emailed Noslik and I said, hey, can you call me, as soon as possible? He calls and I said, hey, I'm releasing another article. It's in regards to the fourth victim. I'm sitting here staring at a United States Marshal federal fucking document. He says, can you send me the document and I'll call you back? Sure. I sent him the document. He called me a couple minutes later, and then he still stuck to his fucking, there's no fourth victim. And then we linked that video so you can listen to us talking about it. Okay? And then I talked about the Kenosha County Medical Examiner, the conversation I had with them today, verifying that there's 4 homicides, gun-related homicides, in the month of August. Okay? That's all the information I know. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There's 4 people that died from guns. I don't know anything else. That's it. I've given you everything that I fucking have. And then we linked a NBC article, okay, where they're talking about Homeland Security fucking telling people that they need to be all sympathetic to fucking Rittenhouse and this fucking shooting. When you make your public statements, be sympathetic to the kid. Okay, that's fucking important, right? And that, again, goes back to connection to law enforcement type shit. And then if you guys actually sit and listen and follow the fucking Rittenhouse case and you watch the hearings, okay, his own, when they were arguing about the address, his own fucking attorney said, and I don't like the guy, okay, but I have reason to believe what he says is accurate. His own attorney fucking says, hey, Kenosha County Sheriff's Department said don't put the safe house address on the fucking bond documents. Put his Antioch fucking address, knowing that the kid is not going to live there. And then that Kenosha fucking put a press release out. No. We didn't do this. Nobody did that. Nobody in Kenosha said that. They put that out because that's fucking huge. That's a big fucking thing. Do I believe Kenosha? No, the fuck I don't. I 100% believe this fucking shit-ass attorney. 100%. And then I write cover-up or conspiracy. Question. I'm staring at fucking documents that say that there's fucking 4 people. 3 of which are fucking dead. And we have a secondary document. And again, it was confirmed by an individual inside of the department. And we have them talking about it on their audio scanner. How much more fucking, I'm trying to provide all of the fucking evidence that I possibly can that we have at this point. I've waited 8 months to fucking start releasing this shit. Well, and then, and that's a good thing, Jen, too. And so we've started obviously searching. We try to find workarounds. When we hit roadblocks, we find workarounds with things, hence why I called the medical examiner's office. But you have to think, right? If this is not being officially reported on, you've never heard mainstream media talk about this. You've never heard the police talk about this. Okay, but now all of a sudden we're getting documents where they're talking about this shit between each other. I'm not sure if there would actually be a fucking obituary. Talking to the medical examiner, everything's on non-disclosure. I mean, they were pretty fucking adamant about that. I mean, none of you guys even knew that these documents were running around somewhere. We had a feeling that there's documents with this type of information in it, and we've been looking for it, and we have 2 documents now. And that's the thing too, we have 2 documents by 2 separate entities, one local and one federal. That's too much. That's too much that, fucking Kenosha needs to start fucking answering some serious fucking questions. So, fuck I'm telling those of you that were popping in now and not before, we're going to release another article that's going to make them lose their shit. And I guarantee you that I'm going to get another phone call and I'm going to be told to fucking record it. And, they're not going to like that article. It's 10 times worse than this. 10 times worse than this. And I'll tell you, I've already said it on the live. It's a falsified document. And it's a big problem. There's a serious fucking problem with this falsified document. Yeah, I filed open records request to the FBI. So we're waiting. I filed with Wisconsin. I know for a fact that Chicago FBI was out here. I've not filed with Chicago FBI yet. U.S. Marshals, I filed with Wisconsin. I also know that Portland, if you read the Wisconsin Examiner, Isaiah just Here's the thing too. So Wisconsin Examiner launches a United States Marshals story. I launched a United States Marshals story. Okay. So in Wisconsin Examiner's thing, he's talking about the U.S. Marshals, but he's also talking about that U.S. Marshals from Portland were told to quit playing G.I. Joe in Portland and get the fuck to Kenosha or Wauwatosa fucking immediately. No. See, this is the problem, Smokey. You're looking at this as if I'm saying this. I'm not. The feds are saying it. So no, I'm not getting in my own way. And then another police department said it as well. I said, you guys are putting the focus on me, like I'm the problem. I'm not the problem. I fucking quoted a document. Stop focusing on me. Read the fucking articles. I just read you the document. Can you get a picture of the document? It's on the fucking article, and I just read it to you. It's on the article. It's right there. It's the article, bro. What is complicated about this? Here. There's the link to the article. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not like I just randomly am just talking about some weird ass fucking shit. I'm not trying to solve fucking Bigfoot and fucking JFK and Roswell and fucking every other QAnon fucking conspiracy that doesn't make fucking sense. I cited 2 government fucking documents. Look at the article in the simplest of ways of why is Kenosha not talking about a 4th victim, but a local police department and a federal agency is talking about a fucking 4th victim. Just look at it like that. Why? You know what I mean? And then why is Kenosha just refusing to even provide us documentation to support their version? Why? That's fucking seriously questionable. That's seriously fucking questionable. And then why is Kenosha attacking a fucking no-named fucking independent journalist that nobody fucking listens to anyway? Right? I don't have the documents from the FBI yet. When I get stuff, if it's important, then I write articles on it and I attach whatever type of record that we have. Until then, we don't tell people what we're fucking digging into. And I don't email my open records request to random people. I don't fucking send you original copies of fucking documents that I have. You can go file this. Go file an open records request on the United States Marshal Service in fucking Wisconsin and refer to this document specifically. And then there you go. Now you have the same document I have. I don't give it to people. I don't have to. But I just told you how to get it. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm sending an email to a journalist. Wrote what documents? Yes, I wrote the articles. That's my company. Clearly. What else? We only have like 13 minutes on the live and then the live ends, so and I'm not coming back. I'm fucking tired. I gotta take these contacts out. I was up all night fucking writing this article, and like I'll be honest, I sat here staring at the fucking screen deciding whether or not to fucking publish the article. I did not sleep. I haven't slept yet. So I got up yesterday at fucking 8:30. I've been up since yesterday at 8:30. Because I already knew. I knew the fucking outcome of releasing this. And again, for people that follow my platform, like, I'm a very controversial journalist. Just because we're controversial doesn't mean that we're full of shit. Publish what? No, it's published. So you're reading it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to publish. What's up, B-Ret? Yeah, I'm trying. You know what I mean? It's just Kenosha painted a giant fucking target on my back again. I mean, as soon as they put their press release out, like, I had somebody message it to me immediately, Because I legit went to go lay down to actually fucking fall asleep for once. And fucking, my phone went off. I'm like, God damn it. And I fucking went and looked, and then I read the fucking, I was like, bro, like, what the fuck, bro? And then I've been up. And then I've been sitting here deciding whether or not I even wanted to go live and fucking address this. Is what facts or fiction? I mean, here's a thing that I got tagged in earlier today. I'll read this to you guys. It's a public thing, so it's not like private shit. So it says, well, what have we here? Listen, you don't need the link to the fuckfest below. Just go read Kevin Glowicki's article and report back. Please share. Right? So then they link the fucking article. I cannot distinctly remember a time when Kenosha Police Department had anything negative to say about Kenosha's very own terrorist who hides behind a keyboard targeting officers, firemen, DPW, the district attorney, the chief, judges, and the sheriff's department. They're talking about Kevin Mathewson. I certainly don't remember their discomfort with the atrocious shit posted there being of such great discomfort that a whole media release was necessary. And all of this shit Kenosha News starts, not even a peep. I have questions, and I have little faith they'll be answered. So let's presume for shits and giggles, because this is beginning to feel a lot like hysteria. Background. So who writes the media releases for KPD, and who approves, denies public records requests that come through, and what do these very different roles, responsibilities have to do with one another? Well, kids, both tasks are done by the same lieutenant, Noslick. Let's take our little baby terrorist from above, Kevin Mathewson, and contrast it to Never.Stop Media LLC and discuss why we have a problem. Baby terrorist, Kevin Mathewson, news source, targets everyone mentioned above with defamatory statements and works night and day to discredit BLM leaders in this community. Does not get Noslick all fired up. Never.Stop Media works to expose policing and governmental entities in an attempt to force a more accountable and transparent culture. Also adamantly supports and tries to help BLM efforts. Gets Noslick all fired up. What have we learned, kids? Well, we see why target the baby terrorist. Maybe he'll get all those BLM folk to shut the hell up. And like, who cares about the other officers, firemen, the sheriffs? Fuck, I just lost the fucking post. Sheriffs and the DA. Our little terrorist is doing the good Lord's work by distracting the community from KPD's shenanigans. Tiny terrors should be left alone to incite fear and violence without a single peep from KPD, because they need that little pocket terrorist to continue making their lives easier. So that's all about Kevin Mathewson. Now, Kevin with Never.Stop Media. Oh boy, he's a big problem. He's elevating the efforts and initiatives of BLM. He's providing them with a platform that carries the potential to expose KPD to the rim. Oh my God, Becky. He recorded that phone call and targeted Noslick. You know, the public relations officer who is also responsible for drafting and submitting media releases on the Facebook page and approving or denying public records requests? No, they cannot tolerate this. Kevin here needs a public reprimanding of sorts. We'll shut him up, all right. No, don't worry about the 70,000 people on our Facebook page that are now going to go read Kev's latest article. What? No, this definitely isn't a temper tantrum or a selfish attempt to assert dominance. No, not at all. It makes perfect sense that the little pocket terrorist is allowed to continue onward into the abyss. End satire. My oh my, what a terrible and predictable response we have here from KPD. What's up, fucking Justice? So, we got about 5 minutes left. And then poor little Kevy Poo is going to fucking bed. Again, if you guys want to help us in this fight to uncover records, please consider donating. It drastically helps us. Yep, good night. Yep, I'm definitely stirring it up. We're stirring up all types of fucking controversy. Pissing off police departments. Oh, show. That is happening. All right, 3 minutes left. It's been a fun day. We're going to keep pissing people off. It is what it is. It's apparently what we do. All right, we got like a minute, so I'm gonna jump off. I gotta go take these contacts out because they're dry as fuck, and yeah, and then I'm gonna finally go to sleep and sleep like a little baby tonight. All right, so stay tuned. Make sure to like and follow the page. If you feel like donating, you want to fucking help us out, get to the bottom of all the conspiracy theories. Fucking help us out. Every dollar helps. If not, whatever. It's fine too. Love you guys.